An offseason of change continues for the Tennessee Titans tonight in Atlanta. This season, the Titans have added a Heisman winner on offense and a Hall of Famer on defense. They debut next. As the hot summer days wear on, the linesmen return, turning mere grass into fields. Soon, other lines appear. Offense. Defense. The Tennessee Titans' run to the finish line fell short a season ago. Now they stand at the starting line once again. With new players, new coaches, and new attitudes, they're drawing their line in the sand. The missteps of yesterday are behind them, and the challenges to win are ahead. Tonight, they begin to lay it all on the line. Welcome to the Titans Television Network, presented in high definition by Nissan. Tonight in Atlanta, Georgia, we are at the Georgia Dome, where the Tennessee Titans take on the Atlanta Falcons in the preseason opener for both teams. Good evening, everybody. I'm Corey Curtis. I'll have the play-by-play once again. And once again, I'm honored to be joined by the former Heisman Trophy winner, the College Hall of Famer, and the Titan great, Eddie George. And Eddie, the start to every season is always special.
Absolutely, especially when you're coming off a 2-win season. You have a chance to reset, restart, and have a fresh season. And I've seen teams win 2 wins to become playoff teams at the end of the year with the proper pieces in place.
The Kansas City Chiefs did it not too long ago.
Absolutely.
Now, if the Titans are going to make that kind of titanic leap, they've got a big piece who's got to lead the way. He's next to you in the Heisman house. He was the second pick of the draft, and there he is, Marcus Mariota.
Yes, welcome to the fraternity, and he definitely is everything that we thought that he would be, probably more, Corey. Very poised in practice, very calm under pressure, and we're going to see if tonight he can handle the pressure of his first preseason game.
His learning curve has been fantastic. He's gone through training camp 186 passes without an interception. Now on the defensive side, they spent some money. They brought in some pieces. They also brought in a coach who's in the Hall of Fame and has 56 years of NFL experience. That's Dick LeBeau.
Great acquisition in the offseason, bringing in Dick LeBeau. He has a great deal of energy. I played against some of his great defense at Pittsburgh. They play with tenacity, nastiness, and they love to see opposing offenses come into their stadium.
As nice a guy as you will meet, but as nasty of a defense as you will see. And he's added a big new piece to the puzzle in that guy, Brian Arakpo. He also makes his debut next. Back to the Georgia Dome. The captains are on the field for the coin toss. We are the Titans Network, and we are larger than ever. For more on that, we go down to the sideline for the third member of our broadcast team. That's Audra Martin.
Hey, Corey. If there's one thing that we all know about our Gatorade Prime to Perform player of the game, Marcus Mariota, it's that his culture and his home state of Hawaii are extremely important to him. And he's extremely important to them, so much so that for the first time in history, these preseason games are being broadcast in the state of Hawaii. So we want to take a second to welcome everyone joining us on KHON and Hawaii's CW. We're certainly thrilled to have you with us this preseason for all of our broadcasts. And of course, so is Marcus.
It's exciting, I think, for me to kind of share that moment with family and friends. It's going to be awesome. All my buddies back home have been texting me this entire week saying that they're gonna be able to watch the game. So for me, it's exciting, and to be able to kind of share that moment with people that got me there, it'll be a cool experience.
Now, it's not only just exciting for Marcus, but defensive lineman Isoako A'atui, Rapati Patotua, and right tackle Jeremiah Patasi also all have family in Hawaii, and they're watching the broadcast today. So an exciting few weeks for all of them, their friends and family. Corey?
All right, thank you very much. Just want to say aloha to everyone, and I think Audra mentioned the right way to say Hawaii is Hawaii.
Hawaii?
Have you been there?
Several times.
I know you have. You had a special jersey on, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Back in the day, man.
The Titans won the toss, elect to defer, so they are kicking off, and deep to return for the Falcons is Teron Ward, who takes it in his own end zone, and we are playing football. And he's taken down just across the 15, and it didn't take long for our referee, Jerome Boger and company, to get involved. We've got a penalty flag on the field.
Exciting new year, Corey. So much to look forward to. A lot of
During the
flags
return,
right
holding, receiving team, number 54. 10-yard penalty. Atlanta keeps the ball. First down.
That penalty goes against Nate Stuper, and the Falcons will start inside their own 10. So a great start for the Titans defense with their new main man, assistant head coach Dick LeBeau. Ray Horton is back. He is still technically the defensive coordinator, and they will work hand in hand this season. So it's 1st and 10 for the Falcons offense. Ryan to throw. Throws out to the outside, complete to who else? Who you would expect? Julio Jones for a short gain. The quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons, of course, is Matt Ryan. He's a two-time Pro Bowler in 2010, 2012. Out of Boston College in his 8th season. He's had 5 playoff starts. He's thrown for over 28,000 career yards. 2nd down and 4 after a 6-yard gain. And Ryan to throw over the middle and complete. Jones breaking tackles again. And he's taken down by Denoris Searcy for a Falcons first down.
Julio Jones, big wide receiver out of Alabama. Comes across the middle, contested. He lost 5 pounds this offseason and gained some muscle. And he looks faster. He's got gained an extra step in his hitch. And he's already fast beforehand. Now he's even faster this year.
He's gonna get something else, Eddie. It's called extra money. About to get a lifetime contract here, they're hoping. Handoff by the Falcons offense for a short gain of about 2 yards. Let's go to the Zaxby's impact players in this ball game. You see on the offensive side of the ball for Atlanta, the guy we've already seen, Julio Jones. And for the Tennessee Titans, he got a new big contract last year. That's Jarrell Casey. Julio Jones took off weight. Jarrell Casey put it on, about 10 pounds. Thought he was too light last season. So Ryan to hand off again. Good penetration by the defense, and they'll do a nice job. Zach Brown gets the tackle out of bounds as he takes down Antone Smith after a 4-yard gain.
And Brian Arapaho doing a nice job of penetrating upfield, forcing the running back to take it out wider, allowing the defense to come off their blocks and make that play out of bounds. And that's what, I mean, he's a great player, played at Washington for a few years, solid player there, and he's going to be a key addition to this 3-4 defense.
Big play here, 3rd and 6, a chance to get off the field, pressure on Ryan. He gets it off complete, and that is a first down for the Atlanta Falcons. Leonard Hankerson, a gain of 13 yards. And they'll move the chains once again.
Leonard Hankerson in the stack position. Runs a simple hitch route, turns upfield, gets the first down. And this is the first preseason game. The defense is now seeing live action against a different team, a different look, different flavor. And they got to settle down and find the right fits to get in the right places at the right time.
So that brings up 1st and 10 from the Titans' 42-yard line for Matt Ryan and the Falcons. He'll hand off on first down. Michael Griffin in the backfield, and he drops Antone Smith for no gain on the play, so that sets up 2nd down and long. Griffin back for another season with the Titans. He's in his 9th year out of Texas.
9 years, man. Still going strong with the outstanding job of coming upfield, unblocked safety. He's the 8th man in the box. Supposed to get a hat on him, left unblocked. That's what you got to do, make that tackle in the backfield.
115 tackles last year, 3 sacks. He's got 24 picks for his career. Play action, Ryan facing pressure, dumps off underneath, complete to DeMarco, the fullback, and that is a first down. And that's a seasoned veteran handling the pressure, Eddie.
Yes, it is, and he does an outstanding job of identifying the blitz. And they're going to do play action going to the left. Pulls out, pulls up, hits the fullback in the flat, first down, Falcons.
That's Patrick DeMarco in his 4th year from South Carolina. He caught 9 passes last year. 1st and 10 now from the 30 after a 12-yard gain. Play action. Over the middle again, it's Julio Jones again, and that's another first down, 16 yards that time, as Jones and Ryan are doing what they've done for 3-4 years now. They're making it look easy.
That's the 3rd time they've connected on this drive here, Corey. The run game has been solid so far, and play action once again over the middle. And Matt Ryan, ever so efficient, hits him over the middle. Julio Jones picks up the first down.
Ryan 5 for 5 so far for 73 yards on this drive, and on 1st and 10, he hands up the middle. Looks like that time it's Strad Ward for a short gain. We'll give him only 1 yard. See on the Titans defensive line, big number 90, that's Daquan Jones. He's in his 2nd year out of Penn State. He's joined the starting lineup. Carl Klug is already subbed in at an end position, and Jarrell Casey in this 3-4 plays an end position as well.
And Daquan Jones, Ken Wisenhunt really loves this kid.
Yeah, he does like him a lot.
He's feeling like he can really be a strong anchor for this defense.
So 2nd and 9. Underneath this time, Julio Jones makes one man miss, and he is in for a Falcons touchdown. 13 yards, Matt Ryan to Julio Jones. It was a two-man show, and Atlanta's got the lead.
Lined up in the stack position, Paris Cox comes up. You got to make that open field tackle, and that's the thing about these training camps nowadays. You don't have a chance to really get informed tackling because of the CBA. You can't hit as much, and it's going to take them time to get used to hitting in the open field. And Julio Jones, once again, was a big key in this drive, comes up with the touchdown.
Matt Bryant is on for the PAT, and as you can see, he is considerably further back. The new line for the PAT, the 15, makes this a 33-yard kick. And Bryant's kick is up, and it is good. One more time, Matt Ryan to Julio Jones, and it's Falcons on top, 7-0. You're watching the Titans Television Network, presented by Nissan. Well, thanks to a 10-play, 91-yard drive and a touchdown by Julio Jones from Matt Ryan, the Atlanta Falcons lead the Tennessee Titans 7-0 in the first quarter here in the preseason opener for both teams. Corey Curtis with Eddie George and Audra Martin on the Titans Network, and there he is on the sideline, Marcus Mariota, the Heisman winner, getting ready to make his Titans debut. Eddie, you voted for him. I voted for him. Great minds think alike. And here is the kickoff to the Tennessee Titans. Back to return for Tennessee, a newcomer to the team, Jacoby Ford. And he is out of the end zone across the 10 into the 15, and he's tripped up just about the 20-yard line. A return of 25 yards for Jacoby Ford. And when we return, Marcus Mariota will be under center for the Tennessee Titans. You're watching the Titans Television Network. Welcome back to the Georgia Dome. The Titans are now on offense. They'll take over 1st and 10 from their 20-yard line with Marcus Mariota at quarterback, taking his first snap with the team. You see the Heisman Trophy winner, and you see those two numbers, Eddie. He's one of only 4 quarterbacks in college football history with over 10,000 yards passing and over 2,000 yards rushing. Can you name any of the other 3?
Oh, wow. You think about that one.
One of them, at least, is in the NFL right now. 1st and 10 for the Titans. They've got 2 to each side and 1 back in the backfield. That's Bishop Sankey, and he gets the football. And Sankey crashes over the left side for a gain of 3 yards. Let's look at tonight's impact players, brought to you by Zaxby's. And for the Tennessee Titans on offense, we're going to look at Taylor Lewan. In his 2nd year out of Michigan, this is his offensive line now. He has to lead the way. And Vic Beasley, the rookie from Clemson, 33 sacks in college, has to turn around that Falcons pass rush.
I really like Taylor Lewan because he plays a chip on his shoulder, so nasty at the point of attack, always looking to make a play downfield.
And he's not shy about the leadership position. 2nd down, Mariota on play action. Little pitch and catch. That's a first down to the former Falcon, Harry Douglas. And it moves the chains for a first down and a gain of 11 yards. And Marcus Mariota starts with the completion.
And it's based off of that read option look. You'll see here, read option look. And he pulls out and hits him in a flat. I think they're running that play. That's something he's familiar with from college. Allows him to get into a nice little rhythm. He's been doing that play since he started at Oregon. So it's not too foreign to him right now to get him into some type of rhythm.
Ken Wisenhunt wants him to be comfortable tonight, without question. The Titans have 2 backs in the backfield. There's a fullback in Jalston Fowler. He's the rookie from Alabama. And they'll hand to Sankey once again. Runs through a couple of arms for about a 2-yard gain, setting up a 2nd and 8 for the Titans.
And I like that. Lined up in the I formation. Wasn't pretty. Didn't get 5 yards. It was 2 yards, but that's positive yards for a team that struggled in the run last year. I like the fact that they've opened up the game with 2 runs so far out of 3 plays.
You see Byron Bell, number 76. He was a 5-year starter with the Carolina Panthers. They brought him in the offseason, hoping he can cement down that right tackle spot. He will be competing with a rookie, Jeremiah Patasi, as well, as the Titans look to shore up the offensive line. 2nd and 8. Mariota, hands off. We've got flags on the play after a gain of about 3 yards for Bishop. See Dexter McCluster, Antonio Andrews.
Offside, defense number 44. 5-yard penalty, replay, 2nd down.
That's Vic Beasley, the rookie from Clemson.
And the great thing the Titans are doing, they're going with the runs, allowing Marcus Mariota to get settled in and establishing the run, because when you have balance, it opens up everything else in the passing game.
Well, there's no backs in the backfield for Mariota this time. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right, and he'll throw it. It's complete to Anthony Fasano, the veteran tight end out of Notre Dame, for a 4-yard gain and a 1st down. And Eddie Fasano is a guy who's been in this league for a long time. And when you go in that Titans locker room, he's one guy that everybody says makes this a better football team.
Fasano can block, he can catch, he can do everything for you. He's a veteran, a savvy veteran, 10 years in the league, understands the nuances of the game, and he's a valuable piece, especially for a young quarterback, to have a tight end that he can rely on.
253 career receptions, 31 touchdowns. Play action again. Mariota, flush, hit, and drop. Mariota sacked on the play. That's Tyson Jackson who takes him down. It's a big loss of about 11 yards on the play.
And that's something that Ken Wisenhunt talked about, was pass protection. Can you hold up in pass protection? And it looked like our left guard, Andrew.
I think it was actually Schwenke in the middle.
Schwenke in the middle?
Yep.
Yep. It was Schwenke in the middle who got beat at the point of attack, got pushed back. And the upfield pressure, that middle pressure, got to Mariota, got him actually his first sack of the year, or his career.
First sack of the preseason. That's right. Going to get it all out of the way, but now you get to see how he handles adversity and a 2nd and long situation. And it looks like we've got our first timeout of the football game. 2nd down and 21 for the Titans. 6:34 left in the first quarter. They trail 7-0. We'll have more football when we return. You're watching the Titans Television Network, presented by Nissan. Working on Marcus Mariota's helmet during that timeout, as the Titans are getting squared away for a 2nd and long situation. Don't know if that's what led to the timeout or not, but it was enough for them to take a look at his headgear. So 2nd and 21, Mariota does have a back in the backfield. That's Bishop Sankey. Akeem Nicks, a veteran wide receiver who's joined the team, has entered the football game, lined up at one of the receiver spots. Setting up a screen, it's picked off! It's picked off, and it looks like it's going to take the Falcons inside the 9-yard line. Justin Durant, the veteran from Hampton, has the Falcons in the Titans red zone. And Eddie, we joked about it. 186 passes without a pick, and his first drive as a pro. There you go.
Titans are setting up for the screen, and it looked like Bishop Sankey stopped, sat in the hole, and Mariota was trying to throw it, trying to lead him a little bit, and it went into the hands of the linebacker, who almost got a pick 6 from it. So yeah, Justin Durant comes up with the pick. He's smiling about it because it was a miscommunication in terms of where he needed to be. He had the screen set up, and unfortunately, he throws the pick. Let's see how he bounces back from it.
Justin Durant, a veteran and a pretty good football player. Falcons back on offense. They're from the 10. New quarterback in the football game. It's incomplete. TJ Yates in his 5th year from North Carolina. So Matt Ryan is done after that drive where he went 6 for 6 for 88 yards. And they'll turn things over to Yates, who Titan fans may remember from his time in Houston.
And it'll be good for the Tennessee Titan defense to win here. If they can just get 3 points out of this right here, is a victory for them, because For them to give them a 95-yard drive, opening drive, is not good for them, especially when it's established a nasty type of defense.
Well, handoff this time to Ward. He's upended. That's a nice effort by Jarrell Casey.
Again, Ken Wisenhunt really thinks the strength of this team is the defensive line. With Jarrell Casey, Sammy Hill, Daquan Jones, and Jarrell Casey, like you mentioned, beefed up a little bit this year. And to play that defensive tackle position, the 4-3 front, you've got to be heavy, and he showed it there.
Sammy Hill not here tonight. He came off the PUP list last week. He's still got to play himself into shape, but they got a lot of bodies that they look forward to seeing. 3rd and goal. Yates to throw. Over the middle. Long, incomplete, and almost picked off. And now we've got another flag on the field down at the 2-yard line. And it's going to go against the Atlanta Falcons. It's going to be offensive pass interference.
Pass interference. Offense, number 15. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
That's Nick Williams, the first-year man from UConn, as Jerome Boger makes the call. And the Titans defense does indeed get a victory. Cody Riggs, the rookie from Notre Dame, had a shot at the pick. We'll see a lot of Cody Riggs tonight. If the name rings a bell, his dad, Gerald Riggs, who played for the Atlanta Falcons.
42.
He was
Name
a load.
is hanging in the rafters right in front of us.
He was a load. He was a good football player.
Yes, he was.
Went to a few Pro Bowls.
Ran heavy behind his pads, grown man.
Looks like the Falcons offense is coming back onto the field. And the Titans have taken the penalty. So instead of giving them a field goal opportunity, they're going to push them back to the 16-yard line. And it's 3rd and goal, so they either have to score a touchdown or go for the field goal from wherever they are. And I guess it gives the Titans another chance to rush the passer.
You want to see that.
So Yates lines up out of the gun with no backs. The fumble on the snap, and it's going to drop him even further back. And turns out to be a great call by Ken Wisenhunt, as Yannick Cujo-Virgil gets credit for the sack on the 11-yard loss on a bad snap.
Bad snap in the shotgun position, and hey, he just didn't get it up. You know, and that's the signs of preseason, just trying to get the rust off and get in the game mode and feeling the jersey around your skin and so forth, being in the stadium, new environment. So that's all the rust right there.
And now a 24-yard field goal is a 45-yard field goal for Matt Bryant. And that kick is up, and that kick is still good, but still a victory for the Tennessee Titans defense. The Falcons tack 3 on the board. They now lead 10-0. You're watching the Titans Television Network. Falcons 10, Titans nothing. 5 minutes left in the first quarter at the Georgia Dome. Corey Curtis, Eddie George, and Audra Martin for Titans preseason football on the Titans Network. The Titans defense coming up big. That drive, 4 plays, negative 18 yards. Results in a 45-yard field goal after Marcus Mariota throws an interception after going 186 passes in practice without throwing it. Well, that's why you play games.
Well, you know what, though? At least in practice, he still hasn't thrown a pick.
But you know what? It's not a story anymore. It's not something we have to talk about. Not that we ever had to talk about it. We like to talk about it.
I'm curious to see how he responds now.
And that's part of the benefits of game action as well, because you want to see everybody handle adversity. Jacoby Ford, deep to return once again. He'll come out from about 7 yards deep. Ford to the 15, hit hard and dropped. 22 yards on the return. The Titans will take over 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. You're watching the Titans Television Network. Falcons lead the Titans 10-0 here in Atlanta. Witness the beginning. Marcus Mariota and the Titans start a new era this season at Nissan Stadium. Don't miss a moment. Get your Titans season tickets by calling 615-565-4200 right now or visit titansonline.com. Corey Curtis with Eddie George, 1st and 10 for the Titans. They're at their 16-yard line, and Marcus Mariota at the helm at quarterback, the 2 backs behind him. Hands off to Sankey. Tried the left side, and there was absolutely nothing there. And he is dropped for a loss of about 2 yards by William Moore, who was a veteran safety for this football team.
And again, I'm not upset with the Titans trying to run the football, establish something. I don't care if you get a game of nothing. One, you're at least establishing an identity and taking some of the pressure off the market. So it's only a matter of time before things start to open up. If you continue to run, you get better at it. It's like anything else. The more reps you get, the better at it you get.
Sankey, almost 600 yards as a rookie, moved into the starting lineup about midway through the season. Gets another carry over the middle, and this time there's a seam, and he's across the 20 for a gain of 5 yards, and that's what you're looking for.
Well, they opened up the formation with 4 wides, and there was more space in there, so it gives you less players to worry about in the box. You see Sankey making a nice cut upfield, seeing the hole just to his right, and takes what they're giving him. And that's what it's going to take. You know, you're going to take the loss of the ones, the twos, the threes, and then eventually get the 4, 5, 6, and eventually pop a big one. But you got to continue to run the football to be better at it.
Chance Warmack with a really nice block on that play for the Titans. 3rd down, and we'll call it 6 to go. Mariota to throw. Ball pops out of his hands, and it's on the ground, and the Falcons scoop it up and score. The veteran linebacker Paul Warlow scoops up the fumble, and the Falcons have built a 16-0 lead on a return of 14 yards and back-to-back turnovers by the Titans offense.
Well, welcome to the NFL, Marcus. You'll see here, 4-man rush, kind of filled it a little bit. The defensive tackle,
Jonathan Babineau, looked like he swatted it out of his hand.
He got it out of Marcus's hand. He didn't slip out of his hand. He got it. And he's got to understand now, you got to move up in that pocket. These guys are savvy on this next level. And they'll swing at the ball. They'll do anything to create a turnover. He's got to move up just slightly and deliver the football. So he's got to understand his pocket presence. That's a part of the growing pains of a rookie quarterback. That's what we're now seeing. And they're laughing about it on the sidelines, trying to keep you cool and calm and say, hey, man, it's a part of the game, so it's a learning process.
This Falcons defense was ranked 32nd in the NFL last year, which is a big reason why Dan Quinn is their head coach this year. He was the mastermind in Seattle, led them to the #1 ranked defense in the league last year. And he's here to turn this thing around, and so far their defense has produced 2 big turnovers. PAT is up, and it is good. Matt Bryant pops it through, and the Falcons are now on top 17-0. And Eddie, let's take a look at Mariota's day so far. It started with getting off the bus and get ready to play in the NFL.
Yep, going through his warm-ups, and now first couple plays of the game, first pass complete to Douglas in the flat. And here it is, his first sack. Didn't expect to see that. And that first interception comes up. Miscommunication between he and Bishop Sankey. And his first fumble of his career. Step up in the pocket, nope. Scoop and score, touchdown, Atlanta Falcons. So we see a little bit of everything tonight.
We're missing one first. We're missing one first.
It's the touchdown?
First touchdown.
I think it's going to come on this drive.
And that's and really, you're the Titans, and you're Marcus Mariota. And I've talked about this earlier in the day when I did some radio shows. The results of what he does in the game, being the first preseason game, aren't as important as his ability to come out and administrate the offense. Now, obviously, you don't want to see the turnovers,
right,
but now you get a chance to see him really bounce back from adversity.
But not only that, he wasn't so anxious to run in that situation.
Yes.
So that's the positive when you look at that one play. Yes, he fumbled, but he wasn't anxious to run.
Forward about 9 yards deep. This time he'll take a knee, and the Titans will take out to the 20-yard line. And we're not just trying to gloss over it and make it sound like everything's rosy, because obviously those are 2 plays that Ken Wisenhunt doesn't want to see. But you're going to expect some of that with a rookie quarterback. What you want to see are the other things as well.
No question about it, and that's why the running game is imperative that they become a great running football team, because he is so young and he is going to make these mistakes. And as he goes through the growing pains, it's part of the process for him.
There's one guy in this booth who rushed for 10,000 yards, and I think you know who he is. He is pounding the running train. Handoff for the Titans again, and we've got a flag on the play after a gain of 3 or 4 yards. I think that's Sankey still in the football game.
A
That's a sign of
4-yard
holding.
gain, but we'll see what the call is for Mr. Boger.
And certainly penalties don't help the matter in this situation.
Offense, number 89. 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
Well, number 89 is Philip Supernaw. He is a second-year man from Wichita Baptist.
Wichita Baptist? What's that?
Wichita Baptist. I'm not going to tell you I know where it is.
I don't know where it
If
is.
somebody knows where it is, you can hit me on Twitter at Corey Curtis 2. So it's 1st and 19 now for the Titans from the 11-yard line. Fasano in motion. And again, nice seam. Bishop Sankey looks like he's going to go for 6 or 7 yards. And that gets the Titans back in a manageable position. And that's a commitment to the run game.
Absolutely. You don't abandon the run game. Now you're looking at a situation where you're first and forever. You give it right back to Bishop, who didn't necessarily break off big runs earlier in the ball game. 1, 2, 3, 4 here. He picks up 8 there. His confidence grows. It allows the offensive lineman to get into a good rhythm running the football. And now it is a manageable second down for Marcus Mariota.
Second down and 12 yards to go. And it's a draw play, and it's tripped up in the backfield for, it looks like a 1-yard loss for Bishop Sankey, or no gain on the play. You know, Sankey came in last year. He was the #1 running back taken in the draft. He put up some remarkable numbers at the Combine, Eddie. He ran a 4.49 40. He did 26 bench presses at 225. That was second most among all running backs. He had the big numbers in the cone drill. He put up huge numbers at Washington, 3,500 career yards. He's done it all prior to this level. Now he's got to make it happen here. 3rd and long. Mariota from the gun. Throws it deep to Harry Douglas. About a 15-yard laser for a first down. We'll call it a gain of 17 to move the chains, and that was a strike.
Yes, it was. On 3rd down. 3rd and long. Marcus Mariota in the shotgun does a nice job of being patient in the pocket, sees that window open, takes it in a laser throw for the first down. Excellent job by Marcus. You'll see here the savvy veteran and Harry Douglas doing a nice job of finding that window and creating space so Marcus can find him and get the completion for the first down.
1st and 10 from the 35. Play action. Little flanker screen to Kendall Wright. He water bugs his way close to a first down, and that sets up the Titans in 2nd and short. And really, this is a free play for Ken Wisenhunt to get creative.
Absolutely. I mean, the flanker screen, you see this, if you're a college football fan, they did this a lot at Oregon. A lot of wide receiver screens, bubble screens, opening up, attacking the perimeter of the defense. And now Marcus is getting to some type of rhythm. He's in the shotgun now. So
talk about rhythm and flow. This is something else they're looking for.
Quarterback, very up-tempo. He's used to that. He needs to have that incorporated into the offensive game plan.
Only 20 seconds left in the first quarter. 2nd and 1. Mariota to throw. Left side. It's caught for a first down. Harry Douglas, the former Falcon. He's back in the house and letting everybody know. 17 yards.
Poised in the pocket. Looks downfield. And he puts the ball placement right where Harry can get it. Does a nice job. Harry got away with a little push there. Does a nice job of getting in, keeping both feet in bounds and continuing this drive. And this is where Marcus flourishes, because now he's getting into a rhythm.
The first quarter is history, and the Tennessee Titans are driving, but they trail 17-0. You're watching the Titans Television Network. Welcome back to the Georgia Dome, where after one quarter, the Falcons lead the Tennessee Titans 17-0 on the Titans Network. Corey Curtis with Eddie George. The Titans are driving with Marcus Mariota at a quarterback. He's 5 for 6 so far in the football game. Has had a couple of turnovers. We'll take a look at that in a second. But has responded. And the Tennessee Titans are on the move with a 1st and 10 at the Atlanta 30-yard line, thanks to a couple of long catches to Harry Douglas. Mariota to throw again. Steps up over the middle to Fasano. And he is close to another Titans first down. You know, Eddie, we've seen him get sacked, and we've seen him turn it over twice, and we've also seen him respond nicely out here.
Nicely. I mean, you saw him, smiling and laughing with Ken Wisenhunt on the sideline after his mishap. So he understands where he made his mistakes. Even now, he's very poised in the pocket. You see him here, looking downfield. finds his receiver in the open window. He's doing a nice job of orchestrating this drive down the field right now.
He's thrown 2 really nice strikes, and there you saw nice presence the last time to Fasano. Bishop Sankey tries the right side and is dropped for about a 2 or 3 yard loss, and it's going to be 2nd and long for the Titans.
And for Bishop Sankey, if he wants to win this job, he's got to hit it up in there. It's 2nd and 1. You've got to be able to turn upfield and run somebody over, run through tacklers to pick up that first down to really get this run game going. Because, let's be honest, I think that Marcus Mariota is going to be a fine player, but the success of this football team hinges upon the running game and the offensive line. And the running back has to be willing to get up in there and get that first down.
Taylor Lewan says that offensive line has to be nastier, has to play to the edge of the whistle. Nice throw by Mariota. First down inside the 20-yard line. That's Antonio Andrews, the former Western Kentucky Hilltopper. But, folks, we've got a flag on the play at the 26-yard line, a gain of 26 yards for number 26, Antonio Andrews.
Holding. Defense, number 59. That penalty declined. The result of the play is the first down.
That's Joplu Bartu with the penalty call, and this is a nice throw.
Nice throw, running a wheel route. Beautifully thrown, did not panic. And that's what you're going to get with Marcus. It's just as if he's playing throw and catch in the backyard. It's like he's back in Oregon wearing one of those fancy uniforms, one of 3,000 combinations, and he just feels like he's very comfortable right now in the pocket.
So the Titans are in the scoring zone, the red zone at the 6-yard line. Dexter McCluster's in the backfield. He takes the pitch to the left side. He's to the 5, and he is in for a Titans touchdown. A 6-yard Titans touchdown from Dexter McCluster. He takes it in from the pinnacle scoring zone, and the Titans are on the board.
And boy, what great blocks on the left side of that line, led by Taylor Lewan and Levitre coming out, leading the way. Look, a nice job of sealing that off right there by Lewan. Gets in front of him, gets McCluster the edge. When you give a running back like that with that type of speed, the edge, he's going to score every time. Excellent job by the offensive line. Execution up front for the Tennessee Titans.
Lewan did a really nice job.
Oh, yes.
I mean, he wasn't able to fully engage, but he was able to keep his body in front of the defender and seal off that side of the field. So the Titans are on for the extra point. It's Ryan Suckup from the 23-yard line. Last night they were 20 for 20 from the new PAT line. And that kick is up, and it's good. And the Titans have made it a 10-point game after a 10-play, 80-yard drive. You're watching the Titans Television Network, presented by Nissan. 13:06 to play in the first half. The Falcons still lead the Titans 17-7, but the Titans are on the board after a touchdown by Dexter McCluster on a great drive from Marcus Mariota.
Marcus showing the poise in the pocket. Hits Douglas over the middle for the first down. You see him here again, staying in the pocket. Hits Harry Douglas once again on the sidelines. And then finally the touchdown by Dexter McCluster to the pylon touchdown. Excellent job. First touchdown drive of his career.
Mariota 7 for 8 for 92 yards. On that drive, though, Eddie, 5 for 5 for 78 yards. And we talked about coming back, bouncing back from adversity. If something bad happened, you would have never known it.
That's an excellent sign to see out of a young quarterback in his first preseason game.
The Falcons coming out of their own end zone. It's Ward again across the 20. And he's to the 22-yard line, a return of 27 yards, where T.J. Yates will lead the Falcon offense back on the field against the Tennessee Titans. And that defense run by both Dick LeBeau and Ray Horton worked for years together in Pittsburgh. They got to get this group together. Derek Morgan or Brian Arakpo likely done for the night. They really want to see what they've got at those other outside linebacker spots. J.R. Tavai has entered the game, number 41, at one of those spots. He's a rookie from Southern Cal. Handoff and a nice play by Al Woods. Let's go down to the sideline now for a little social media with Audra Martin.
Thanks, Corey. It's time for my favorite part of the broadcast, and that's the part where the viewers at home get to be a part of the broadcast. It's our Twitter question of the night. And our first Twitter question of the preseason is about the free agency signings. Which free agency acquisition do you expect to have the biggest impact for the Titans, and why? Tweet me your answers at Audra_Martin, and you may see your answers coming up later on in the show. Guys.
Thank you very much, Audra. Yates with the pitch to Smith. He's got some room. Al Woods pushes him out of bounds, but after a long game, that's Antone Smith in his 6th year from Florida State. 9 yards, setting up 3rd and short. It's time to knuckle up for that Titans defensive line.
Yeah, especially on the outside of that. I mean, if you run a tall sweep to the boundary like that, you got to come upfield and force it back to the inside. I mean, on this level, you can't allow any running back to hit that corner. There's no way they can happen, so they're going to have to really figure some things out up front.
There's still some starters out there. Avery Williamson, Mike Griffin, Harris Cox. Hand off by Yates to Smith. He's hit early, but not early enough. He falls forward for a gain of 1 or 2, but it's definitely enough for a first down.
And you know, Corey, I mean, what I don't see out of this defense so far is the excitement, the joy of being out there playing defense. I mean, when you're playing defense, you have a certain swagger about you, and you're out there talking and building each other up. I don't see any of that as of yet out of the Tennessee Titan defense.
1st and 10 for the Falcons, and that's Smith one more time. He gets the left edge and more. Searcy comes up and gets the stop, but we've got another flag on the play. That one's back at the line of scrimmage, and that's usually good news for the defense.
Yeah, that's the area of holding there. And
yep.
Hit that outside pretty easily once again.
A 9-yard gain going to be erased when Jerome Boger makes the call.
Offense, number 16, 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
Now, Dick LeBeau is as nice a guy as you're ever going to see,
yep.
Eddie, but he has nasty defenses, and we talked to him about that before the preseason started. How do those two actually come together?
I mean, we live in a governed civilization, and we all have to operate within the rules, and there's nothing wrong with being extremely polite when you're not on the field. But your particular job is one of contact and exposure, and there's nothing wrong with being that type of a person when you're in the framework of earning your employment.
And on cue, the Titans defense comes up with a sack.
Perfect timing.
Rapati Patoa-Tua, Daquan Jones, everybody closing that pocket. A loss of about 7 yards. J.R. Tavai.
And as a basic 4-man rush, great job downfield, covering the receivers. It was a coverage sack, doing an excellent job. And who wouldn't want to play for Dick LeBeau? I mean, I would want to play for Dick LeBeau. I want to play defense.
He's a legend.
Absolutely.
Yates to throw over the middle. Nice high grab on the play by Nick Williams. But he is short of a first down. It's still going to be 3rd down and very long. A gain of about 10 yards on the play. Yeah, these guys love having Dick LeBeau around. There's no question.
I've had a chance to talk to some of the defensive players in the offseason about just having Dick LeBeau around. He says, man, he has the pedigree. He has the aura about him. But he talks to you like you're a man. And you want to run through a brick wall for him because he just inspires you to do great things out there on the field.
Also not afraid to explain why he's having you do something, and that means a lot to the players. Yates to throw again. Deep ball. Broken up by Cody Sensabaugh, but we've got a flag on the play.
That's all day.
Sensabaugh and Hankerson.
He knows better than that. I mean, he knew it. He knew it. You can see it from up here.
Well, it was right in front of us because we're at the 45-yard line. We'll see what Jerome Boger has to say. He is conferring with his compadres.
I mean, he didn't even look back for the ball. He engaged in contact. He didn't even look back for the ball yet.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both against the defense. Illegal contact, defense, number 54. That penalty is declined. Pass interference, defense, number 24. Spot of the foul, automatic, first down.
The first penalty was against Avery Williamson. That was declined. The second is right here against Cody Sensabaugh.
Hankerson, yeah. He's got to get around. He's got to get his head turned around beforehand and shield and use his body. But he
extended his arms out beforehand, and they're going to call it every single time.
28 yards on the penalty. He's starting tonight for Jason McCourty, who's out of action with a bit of a groin soreness, but it's nothing terrible that'll keep him out of the regular season. Another pass, and it's picked off by Sensabaugh. Sensabaugh to the 40, and the Titans turn it right back around and get the football. Bounce back play for Cody Sensabaugh, their first turnover of the preseason.
Cody Sensabaugh bouncing back. Basically got a gift right there. I mean, bounced
made the
off
play
of
though, Eddie. You got to make
right
the
there
play
at the right time. And he did a nice job of just staying with it. And you know, as a cornerback, you got to have a short memory, and he got the penalty and bounced back and made a big play for him.
8 yards on the return, and those are the plays this team didn't make last year. They had only 12 interceptions all season. They had only 4 fumble recoveries all year. They have got to have those game-changing, field-flipping kind of plays that Dick LeBeau is known for. Titans will take over 1st and 10 from the 40 when we return. You're watching the Titans Television Network, presented by Nissan. So Cody Sensabaugh gets a pick, and the Titans, trailing 17-7, are back in business with the football, and Zach Mettenberger has entered the game at quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. He'll go play action. Mettenberger steps up and throws to the right side, and Justin Hunter has a Titans first down, and the Titans are in Falcons territory. Gain of 13 yards, Mettenberger to Hunter, and these two guys really hooked up last year in the preseason.
Yeah, Zach Mettenberger, I mean, he has a strong arm from the pocket. Does a nice job of sitting back there. Got good protection and time. And Hunter, man, he's just been coming on big time ever since last year. I mean, they had some big plays last year during the course of the season, so he feels very comfortable throwing to Justin Hunter.
Hunter needs a big year. He missed the last 4 games last year after suffering an abdominal injury. Handoff over the left side. That's Antonio Andrews, who falls forward for a gain of 2 yards, setting up a 2nd and 8. Hunter last year, 28 receptions, 498 yards, 3 touchdowns in only 12 games. You see Mettenberger's numbers. He also had a quarterback rating of 83.4, which was the highest for any Titans rookie ever. Wow. He was also sacked 18 times. And that was 2 men. 2nd down and 8. 2 men in the backfield. They'll hand it off again to Antonio Andrews. Takes on a tackler and goes forward for a gain of 5. That is physicality.
It's nothing pretty. It's a hard 2, hard 3 yards, but guess what? It compounds over time. You keep doing that, it'll soften up a defense. And he does a nice job of yards after contact, kept his feet moving after contact. Andrew, I mean, I saw him in the elevator. He's a thick kid now.
Yeah, he's 5'10", 225.
5'10". I mean, he's a powerful guy, man. So he runs to hurt you.
Former Mr. Football at Kentucky, led Fort Campbell to a state championship, and went on to Western Kentucky where he had 6,800 all-purpose yards. The throw is made by Mettenberger and caught by Supernaw, and the Titans moving the chains again, and Mettenberger's come into the game and had a good rhythm early.
And listen, Mettenberger's been through a season thus far, and he's starting to slow down for him. Does a nice job of getting the ball out there to his tight end, and he recognizes the defense, what they're doing. And, you know, the guy, he's a talented quarterback. Boy, how good would that be to have Marcus Mariota, you know, he pans out as your starter and Mettenberger as your backup who has some experience. So it's a tremendous upside for him. I really do. I think that.
Got to have depth at every position in this league. We've seen it over and over again. Mettenberger to throw on 1st down, slings it out to the outside. And that is going to be dropped for no gain. It looks like Antonio Andrews one more time. Andrews at Western Kentucky rushed for 3,600 yards, 29 touchdowns. He was quite the player there. You know, a military kid.
Yes.
And Ken Wisenhunt just thinks he has a pro's approach to the game. He likes the way he prepares, and whatever they ask him to do, he'll do it.
Worked his butt off last year.
And that's why he's here. 2nd down, draw play. Andrews again, picking his way through. Now, moving those legs, that's a gain of 5 yards, and it's 3rd and 5, and the Titans are in pretty good field goal range right now and in a 3rd down and manageable situation.
Do you see how the power moves when he moves? I mean, his legs never stop turning. He keeps going, looking for more yards. After contact, he's not stopping his legs. And that's a good sign that you want to see out of a running back. His ability not to stop moving his legs on contact. And I think he does a nice deal. Good things can only happen from that. Does an outstanding job of doing that so far.
The Titans have twin towers to the right with Dorial Green Beckham and Justin Hunter at wide receiver. Green Beckham, the rookie from Oklahoma, 6'5", 235 pounds. Mettenberger steps up and throws. He's got his man at the 10, and he is in for a Titans touchdown. Rico Richardson, and the Titans are back on the board.
Nice job by Zach Mettenberger throwing a strike to Richardson coming across the middle, but even a better block by Andrews without the football to set it up. You'll see Andrews come up, get a nice chip block there. And Mettenberger delivers a nice strike, does a nice job of leading the Titans to a touchdown.
Rico got up on the Titans roster at the end of last season for a little while. 30-yard touchdown, really nice drive by number 7.
He looked good, man. I mean, he really looked sharp. And granted, it's against the number 2s or 3s, but this guy, he played a full year last year.
But this is when he got to play.
He got to play. And listen, he's taking a lot of taking advantage of the opportunities and the nice balls that he's throwing down the field with great velocity, very self-assured, not indecisive. Excellent job, drive by Zach Mettenberger.
Mettenberger, 6'5", 224 there, looking at the touchdown by Richardson to see if he fumbled it before he crossed the line. And I don't know if it's going to go to the booth or not. We are going to take a break as they take a look at it. As for now, it's 17-13. You're watching the Titans Television Network, presented by Nissan. Well, here's a look at it. Rico Richardson reaches the ball out, and you see it come out. The question is did he get to the white line or not? He just has to get to the front of it with the front of the football. When does it come free? Yeah, right there, but I think he's in.
Yeah, I think he's in too. It's not enough evidence to overturn the call, in my opinion.
I've gotten a lot of help here about Philip Supernaw from Wichita Baptist. It's in Arkadelphia, Arkansas, thanks to everyone. Notable alumni include Mike Huckabee, Cliff Harris, and Philip Supernaw. So the touchdown holds up for Rico Richardson. He gets high fives on the sideline. And now Ryan Suckup is on for a PAT from the left hash. And a chance to draw the Titans back within 3 after being down 17. So a nice response by Ken Wisenhunt's team on both sides of the football. Suckup's kick is up. And it is no good. And the Titans have missed the PAT. And now still trail by 4 points. It's 17-13. Falcons on top. 5:34 remaining in the second quarter, and we'll see if the Titans defense can get the Titans offense back in business. You're watching the Titans Television Network, presented by Nissan. Falcons 17, Titans 13, 5:34 to play at the George Dome in the first half. Zach Mettenberger 4 for 4, 46 yards and a touchdown on that drive. The Titans home has a new name, Nissan Stadium, and it's a new era of Titans football. Get your Titans season tickets today. Call 615-565-4200 right now, or visit titansonline.com. Get your tickets and tighten up. Mike Meyer on to kick off for the Titans. He angles it to the left side, and that's Nick Williams taking a knee, and the Falcons will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard lines. So once again, the numbers for Mettenberger on that drive: 4 for 4, 48 yards. Finished with a 30-yard pass to Rico Richardson. The drive, 7 plays, 60 yards, 351. And Eddie, what you really like is the defense overcame some adversity on a penalty, gets an interception, and then the offense takes right advantage.
Bang, 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 right down the field. Zach Mettenberger, I mean, it looks like the game has slowed down for him. He looks calm and confident in the pocket. Of course, he's not getting a lot of pressure or seeing blitzes and that stuff. This is the first preseason game, but you've got to like his execution and his ability to see the field and throw the ball with confidence down the field.
Xavier Gooden shaken up on that kickoff and taken off the field. A third-year man from Missouri. He's played a lot of special teams for the Titans. Hopefully he's okay. So 1st and 10.
Looks like we've still got Yates under center and Al Woods jumping at the nose. And it's going to be 1st and 5 for the Falcons.
Encroachment. Defense number 96. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
You see Dr. Burton Elrod. I know your picture is up at his practice.
Yeah. I've been in there a couple times this year with my sons and my wife. The George family's all banged up, beat up right
What's
now.
going on
Knees
at your
and
house?
shoulders. I don't know.
All right, Yates to throw again, and it's going to be ruled a catch. That's Justin Hardy, a rookie from East Carolina. Heard some pretty good things about him. Gain of 6 yards. Not the biggest guy, 5'10", 192 pounds. But they like him. They like him. Of course, we did not see Roddy White tonight. We did see Julio Jones. Play action for Yates. He's got a tight end wide open. That's Levine Toilolo for a first down into Titans territory. Making the tackle for Tennessee was Damian Stafford, a gain of 21 yards. He was running free.
Yeah, he was wide open. They ran play action to the left. Came back. He uncovered late. No one in that space, and it was just pitch and catch. And a big gain for the Atlanta Falcons.
From the Titans, 48. Toilolo, 31 catches a season ago.
From Stanford.
That's right. Played with Andrew Luck. Smith, another carry. And he ran out of bounds, Eddie. I know you're a big fan of that. Gain of 6.
Well, he's not a Titans running back, so,
so you lay off?
Hey, he can do that. That's fine by me. But, you know, the Titans edge, again, so many times, I've seen too many times tonight, they're able to get runs on the outside. I mean, that's a big gain, you know, 5 yards for a tall sweep on this level. So they got to figure some things out in terms of defensive fits within this defense, within the 3-4 scheme.
The outside linebacker on that side is J.R. Tavai from Southern Cal. They're going that way again. Nice tackle in the backfield. The veteran, Rapati Patoa Tua. Big Rapati, 6'8", 298, 6th year from Washington. Loss of 4 yards on the play.
Big man,
loss of 1 yard, excuse me.
And did a nice job of just coming right down the line of scrimmage.
Good tackle.
Engage out the space. That's what you want to see. He had him inside out. Didn't allow him to cut back. Did a nice job of making the tackle.
45 tackles last year, 2 sacks. Has suffered through a couple of hand injuries since he's joined the Titans. 3rd down and long. Yates to throw. Overshoots his man. Incomplete. Looking for Tony Moliaki. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And it looks like we're going to see something we haven't seen a lot of tonight, and that's a punt.
Although the Titans didn't get the sack, the pressure definitely altered that throw, made him overthrow the ball because of the pressure. Great job by the young rooks getting in there, forcing the 4th down.
Matt Bosher on to punt. Dexter McCluster is deep to return, and we've got a flag on the play. There's still 13 seconds on the play clock. Oh, boy. 12 men for the Titans, and that's going to create a 4th and very short at about the 39-yard line. You would think,
back on the field.
You would think they would go for it here. This is a good time to test your youngsters, and you hate to make excuses, but that's the type of penalty you see in the first preseason game, and it's one of the things you got to get worked out.
You got to get worked out, but that's inexcusable. You should know what team you're on, your position, where you're at, and so forth. There's no excuse for that. But like you said, it's the preseason, but they still don't get a pass.
No, and you get it worked out, or you get a ticket out of town usually.
Yeah.
And you know the youngsters will learn that. So 4th and 1. Yates going to go play action.
He can run for it.
He's bootlegging to the right side. The pass is complete for a first down. Nice sliding grab by Nick Williams. And that will move the chains. I'll tell you what, when Yates let that one go, I wasn't so sure that one was going to make it.
I thought, you know, it was going to be a poor decision. He had enough room to run for it, but he rifles it in there. No one out there in the flat but him, but there's some extra space, but he elects to throw it. Does a nice job of making the catch.
We've got a Titan down at the 40-yard line. It looks like one of the young linebackers, Yannick Cujo Virgil,
He's a rookie from Maryland, 6'2", 248 pounds. And then another one of those guys who they're anxious to see at that outside linebacker spot to see what he can do. And I'll tell you what, we're seeing the NFL change the rules this year where these linebackers can now wear the 40 numbers.
Oh, really?
And it's throwing me for a loop.
Yeah, you know what? For years that, it's always been in the 50s.
50s and 90s.
Now 40s, it doesn't look right.
Well, Brian Bosworth would have loved that.
He would have loved it.
All right, we had another Titans injury earlier in the game. For more on that, we go to Audra Martin.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, we just saw Xavier Gooden getting carted off the field. I just talked to a member of the Titans staff, and he says right now it's just a left hamstring injury. No exact explanation how serious that injury is, but he will not return for the rest of the game.
Thank you, Audra. So a hamstring for Gooden and a 1st and 10 for the Atlanta Falcons with 2:49 left in the first half. Handoff on first down. Nice job by the Titans line as they close things off. It looked like Damian Stafford and Carl Klug were in there. Getting the carry was Jerome Smith, and it's a loss of 2 yards. Jerome Smith, 6', 226, first-year man from Syracuse. So 2nd down and 11. 3 receivers to the right side for Yates. The Titans show a 4-man front. Yates to throw. Pitches to the outside. Caught for a first down.
Nice ball placement by Yates.
Justin Hardy again, the rookie from East Carolina.
He's a bad boy, too. East Carolina, I remember him, number 1. Does a nice job getting that field, that spacing. Nice ball over Damian Stafford's head by Yates.
Gain of 13 yards puts them in the red zone. They're on the Titans 19. And we are at the 2-minute warning. So Dick LeBeau's squad will have to tighten up. They trail 17-13. You're watching the Titans Television Network, presented by Nissan. Aloha to everyone on the Titans Network, including the Pokes watching in Hawaii tonight. They trail 17-13 in the second quarter. Ladies join Titans True, the team's women's club, and receive exclusive access to special events, a welcome pack, and other great benefits year-round. So ladies, sign up today at TitanTrue.com and join the Titan True team's official women's fan club. Do it today. You know, there's even a Hawaiian restaurant now in Middle Tennessee. Former Titan Eugene Amano opened one up.
Oh, nice. Where?
Cool Springs area.
You know the name?
L&L Hawaiian Grill. Yates to throw. Man wide open at the 5. And he falls forward for the Falcons. No, they're going to call him down at the 1-yard line. Didn't look like anybody touched him, but it's going to be 1st and goal from the 1 after a gain of 18 yards for Nick Williams. Boy, I thought that was 7 points.
Falcons running that stretch play action, and it's serving well for them tonight and coming back across.
Nobody's got him.
Nobody's touched him.
Out of bounds. Okay. There we are. That's a nice call by the officiating crew. Williams wants him to look at it again.
He was out. Don't get excited, man. Just run off the field and good job getting open.
1st and goal from the 1. Antone Smith in the backfield. Yates falls and hands him the football, and he's stacked up and dropped.
I like it. That's attitude. Goal line defense. I don't care who's out there. There's an attitude that you must have when you play goal line defense for the Tennessee Titans. They did a nice job of stuffing the run there.
2nd and goal, and the Titans, it looks like, are going to take a timeout with 1:43 to play. So regardless if the Falcons are able to score or not to score, it looks like Ken Wisenhunt wants to get his offense to get the football field. There's Dick LeBeau. He'll be on the sideline this year, assistant head coach. Ray Horton, the defensive coordinator, up in the booth. Let's look at his resume a little bit there. Eddie, 24 seasons as a defensive coordinator in Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, defensive backs coach with Detroit, and a 2010 Hall of Fame inductee for his time as a player with the Lions, where he teamed up with a guy named Night Train Lane.
And you know what college he went to, right?
No.
Went to the Ohio State University.
How about that?
Yeah.
And he was also on a Super Bowl championship staff with Ken Wisenhunt. The hand to Smith again, crashes forward to the pylon, and they give him the touchdown. A 1-yard gain, and Smith crashes in, and the Falcons get a score. Let's take another look at this. It was very close.
Very close. Good contact there. He reaches out. He hits that high pylon very close. I mean,
where's his knee? Where's the ball? It is tight.
It's a matter of inches. His hairline. I think it's a touchdown. I mean, he's not enough there to overturn it. If the knee touched down before the ball crossed the pylon, then I would say yes. But we couldn't see that on the replay there. He looked like he got injured on that play as well.
Like he's paid the price as he's limping off the field. Last year, Smith went 23 carries for 144 yards and 2 touchdowns. Of course, Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman are going to battle it out. Yeah, it looks like at about the 4.
Yeah, that looks like it might have been a hamstring.
Yep, still laid out for the touchdown. Yeah, you know what? I think that's 6 points.
That's 6 points.
I think that's 6 points. They're going to look at it, but I think when they look at it, they're going to see that is 6 points. Let's take a look at this again and see if we can see him pull up. Right there.
Oh, yeah.
He tried doing that little high step. And the hamstring disagreed with it.
My man's like, look, I don't know when I'll ever have an opportunity to score an NFL touchdown. I'm going to fight through this hamstring injury, whatever it is, and score this touchdown. Deal with it later.
The Atlanta Falcons last year, they've got 23 points tonight. Scoring wasn't the problem last year. The Falcons were 8th in the league, averaging 378 yards a game. They were 5th in the league passing at 284 yards a game. They scored 23.8 points a game, which was 12th in the league. The problem for them was stopping anyone. They gave up almost 400 yards a game, and that was last in the league.
Yep.
And they also gave up just an absolute ton of points. Too many. They wound up 6-10, and they wound up with a new head coach, Dan Quinn, who replaced Mike Smith. As the Falcons just felt like, Mike Smith was a good head coach, but it was just time for a new message, which happens.
You need that. I mean, tremendous success here in Atlanta, going through the playoffs several times, but it seemed like once they got in the playoffs, that was their ceiling. And sometimes you need a fresh new vision, someone that's a little bit more innovative with new ideas, and certainly Dan Quinn coming from Seattle, we know how they play football.
Yep.
They're going to build inside out with the offense and defensive lines, and from the little stuff I've seen here tonight, that culture, that philosophy has been being preached, and we're starting to see signs of that in the Falcons' defensive line when they played the Titans earlier in the first couple of quarters.
They upheld the touchdown. Quinn's background is in defensive lines, coaching those. His offensive coordinator is Kyle Shanahan, and his defensive coordinator is Richard Smith, and it sounds like he's going to let Richard Smith run the defense. I'm sure his fingerprints are all over it, but it's Richard Smith's defense to run. So the PAT attempt this time from 33 yards for the Falcons. The Titans, of course, missed their last one. Matt Bryant is on to kick this one. The kick is up. It is good. And so the Falcons have stretched their lead to 24-13. And they now lead by 11, but the Titans are going to get the football and a chance to make something happen. Eddie, it's been a busy offseason for the Titans. They spent some money, and they had money to spend, and they've made some key acquisitions on the offensive side. These are 3 guys who are going to have a big role on this team: Byron Bell, Harry Douglas, and Anthony Fasano. I think Fasano's a sneaky signing.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he brings so much to the table, not just as a pass catcher, but a presence in the run blocking and also leadership. Harry Douglas comes from Atlanta.
He's brought in to lead that room.
Yes, you've seen here tonight, made some key catches, and talking to the receivers coach, he says he speaks very highly of Harry Douglas, and he feels like he's a blessing in that locker room because he's going to get real honest answers from Douglas.
Well, Harry Douglas is a guy who has played on a team blessed with receivers, but there was one season when they suffered some injuries here, and Harry Douglas did have a 1,000-yard year. In 2013, he had 85 catches for 1,067 yards. So when presented with the opportunity, he did come up big.
And he's still relatively young.
Yeah, he's only he's in his 8th year.
8th year. I mean, that's young for a receiver. He still has a lot of quality years left.
Kickoff is going to go to the back of the end zone, and the Titans will take over 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Before the game, a guy that Terry Douglas knew pretty well, That's the Falcons owner, Arthur Blank. And you know what? This just shows how the NFL is all business, and both sides know it.
Yeah, and you know what? Arthur Blank, he's a well-respected owner in the league. Really has a great rapport and relationship with current players, former players who have worn the jersey for the Falcons. Tremendous respect, and that's what you like to see from owners, is that personal relationship with players. It starts from the top, and he's done an outstanding job of creating a great brand here in Atlanta.
Minute 37 left for Zach Mettenberger to make something happen. He's 4 for 4 so far for 48 yards, and he's back to throw. Mettenberger lofting one down the sideline. Nice adjustment to the football for Dorial Green Beckham, and the Titans are in Falcons territory. Eddie, this guy is a load.
He's a physical beast, 240 pounds, can run the football, goes up and gets it at its high point. I mean, he was an absolute man at Missouri 2 years ago. Took off last year, sat out from football, and now the second-round draft choice for the Tennessee Titans. Outstanding catch.
Mettenberger with pressure on him, throws underneath, complete. Flag on the play. And that's Chase Kaufman, who gets out of bounds, but we're going to have to see what the penalty is. It's in the secondary, a gain of 4 yards. But you talk about Dorial Green Beckham, it's his first game in 20 months.
And he still has some ways to go. I mean,
he's got to shake some rust off.
Yeah, talking to Sean Jefferson, he says that he's a
Illegal contact, defense number 48, 5-yard penalty, automatic.
He's a physical beast, and you can see here getting the ball up at his high point, and he's a raw talent, still a project in the world. He's still young, still has to understand the nuance of the game. I think he can stand to lose a couple more pounds and really just work him in slowly to the system.
4 receivers for Mettenberger with McCluster in the backfield. Zach throwing down the left sideline for Justin Hunter this time, and it's picked off at the 2-yard line. The Falcons with the football. Robinson Therizi, he just had the penalty called against him, so just like with the Titans, he responds with the turnover, a return of 15 yards, and with 49 seconds to play, the Falcons have the football.
I like his thinking, very aggressive, and Hunter had a step on him. He just underthrew him a little bit. Ball got tipped and went into the defender's hands. And again, you know, great right idea to underthrow it. Got tipped and picked, going the other way. But I love the decision by Mettenberger and throwing it down the field.
She did not love the result. So Mettenberger goes to the sideline with 49 seconds to play in the half. We'll see how the Falcons attack it with a 11-point lead. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 17. TJ Yates still in there. Throws to his tight end, Torloro again. He pulls his way forward. And he's got a 1st down. They had big expectations of Torloro when they brought him in here. 6'8", 265 pounds, 12-yard gain there. But he's got some help now. I mean, they've got some other veterans in them, in Jacob Tammy and Tony Moiaki. But I'll tell you what, when you got to replace a Tony Gonzalez,
that's tough.
It's very tough.
No
matter what you do,
yeah.
When you're going to be compared, it's like replacing Eddie George. Yates to throw, complete again. Jamea Thomas with the tackle. Making the catch was Eric Weems. Gain of 14 yards for number 14. And so 38 seconds to go, and TJ Yates, we talked about getting into a rhythm. It looks like he's in a little bit of a rhythm for Atlanta.
Yes, he is. Trying to get some points on the board before halftime.
Coming up at the half, Audra Martin will talk with Ken Wisenhunt. We'll also have a special package about Marcus Mariota. Nice play in the pass defense that time for the Titans. It's a familiar name here in Atlanta. Jan Smallwood, in his first year from UConn, he was originally drafted by the Falcons last year. A Ford player profile tonight. Marcus Mariota will have first half highlights. If you did not see Marcus early, you tuned in a little bit late, you'll get a chance to see.
He went through it all.
Yeah, he had an eventful evening. He covered all the bases. Sacks, turnovers, touchdowns. Another pass to Torloro. A nice tackle by Thomas. And it's going to be a 3-yard gain and a 3rd down and 7 with 31 seconds to play in the half, and the Titans need a stop, or even
Big
better,
third down.
turnover.
Big third down.
You know
here,
the ball's
get a stop.
going in the air.
Yeah.
Go get it.
Yeah, and they're going to try to do, get in the field goal range, play to the sticks. There's still 3 timeouts left for the Falcons. Let's see what they do here.
You've got 2 receivers to each side, 3/8. And in motion is Nick Williams. Takes the throw, pressure coming, unloads. Nice play in the secondary. Knocking it down for the Titans is Rashard Anderson, and he will draw a punt.
Outstanding play. He got his hand around it, but not enough for the ref to see. Great job, played the ball, knocking it down. More importantly, stops the clock, so it gives the Titans probably a chance to get a couple plays off here with 26 seconds left to go to the half. But an excellent job by Anderson, knocking down the ball, Corey.
Making a play, and getting the defense off the field. Dexter
Certainly with 1
McCluster
hit.
standing at his own 10-yard line. Maybe he can put the Titans back in business. Towering punt. McCluster's going to have a chance to return it. And he's 16, and he's dropped right there. A 38-yard punt with nothing on the return, and the Titans will have 16 seconds left. And even if you're a great optimist, I think a knee would probably be in order here. Don't forget, you got a flag on the play first. It's going to go against the Titans, so they're going to get backed up a little bit further, which leads you further to believe it's going to be a knee. But in mere seconds, Auden Martin will talk with that guy, get his impressions of Marcus Mariota in his NFL debut. And whenever you're at this time of the year, there's always good and there's always bad, and there's usually something in between.
Well, you know what? That's the process.
Yep.
You go through it all. Not every day is going to be great. Not every day is going to be bad. You got to learn how to.
But you got to learn.
You got to learn.
You got to learn.
You got to learn to be consistent. It's important to how you approach it mentally and your attitude toward it.
Well, there's the knee from Mettenberger, and the Titans will run out the clock in the first half and take a 24-13 deficit to the locker room, but they deferred in the first half, so when we come back for the second half, the Titans will have the football. Let's go down to the sideline now with Audra Martin.
Thanks, guys. Okay, Coach, one of the things we always hear about Marcus Mariota is how he doesn't seem to get phased. What stood out to you the most about how he was able to respond and administer that offense on the third drive?
Well, obviously a tough start, 2 turnovers. You know, we got the protection where we got the ball knocked out. Tough play on the screen pass, but he responded really well. Did a nice job of taking a long drive down the field. What I really liked is he had a 3rd and long. He did a nice job of staying in the pocket, finding the receiver downfield, and he made some plays. So we got a lot of things to work on, but it was good to see him respond that way.
Talking about responses, your defense also had a nice response early on in the first half. Multiple guys making some big plays. I know it's a first preseason game, but how big can that be in setting a tone and assessing some of these young guys on defense?
Well, you know, after a tough start, that's what we've got to hold on to, because we've lost contain on the backside a number of times on those nakeds. That's a product of not preparing for a team like that, but we've got to be more disciplined. A lot of our young linebackers have really struggled with that. So we'll go in here, we'll talk about it at halftime, and what we can do is hopefully do a better job in the second half.
Good luck in the second half.
Thanks.
All right, we will be back right after this with a package of getting to know our new quarterback. Be right back.
Passing yards, almost even. Total yards, almost even. Turnovers, not even. 3 for the Titans, 1 for the Falcons. Both teams have 5 penalties. The Titans are perfect in the red zone, and the Falcons are 2 for 3. Turnovers, the big problems tonight for the Titans. They did come up with one in the first half on defense. Witness the beginning. Marcus Mariota and the Titans start a new era this season at Nissan Stadium. Do not miss a moment. Get your Titans season tickets by calling 615-565-4200 right now or visit TitansOnline.com. And the Titans will receive the football to begin the second half. Coming back from about 5 yards deep to the 20 and out to the 25-yard line. It's stripped away. But they're still saying Titans football. That's Trey McBride, the rookie from William and Mary, lost it. But it looks like the Titans are going to hold it. But we do have a flag down at the 29-yard line. So Jerome Boger going to have to make another call very early in this one. Let's take a look at the way this play finished with McBride. He's a wide receiver who they like a lot, but he's going to have to play on special teams, and he's going to have to hang on to it better than that. Well, he's got to get control at it, and he doesn't.
Okay. Ball was out for sure.
Yeah, he did rip it right from it. It's a nice play by the defender. It's Charles Godfrey. Stripped it right out of there. Penalty goes against Tennessee, and the Titans would backed up to the 12-yard line. McBride is a guy who the Titans got very late in the draft, and he was a guy who was expected to go much earlier. So he's a player with a chip on his shoulder.
You like those players. You really like those players.
So Mettenberger back in at quarterback. He's got a touchdown and an interception in the first half. 1st and 10 with 2 backs behind him. He hands off. Nice strong run up the middle. Eddie, that's your guy. That's David Cobb. He's wearing 23. He'd rather wear 27.
Yeah, he does.
8-yard gain. He's worn 27 since he was like 8 years old.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very strong running back. Played for Minnesota, rushed for over 1,600 yards last year for the Gophers, and played in the rough and rugged Big Ten, so he understands how to pound it in between the tackles. So I'm curious, like everybody else is, to see him run the rock tonight.
5'11", 229 pounds. He's a downhill runner. And he gets another carry, and he has a nice hole, and he has a first down. So 2 nice runs by the Titans to start the second half. That's a gain of 8 yards. And the Titans are approaching the 30-yard line. Cobb with 2,893 yards. That's 7th all-time for the Gophers.
And for a running back of his style, you really don't know what he can do until you get him in game situations. Because practice, you're just thudding up. You're not going through the motions, but you're not seeing live action. To see what he can truly do in between the tackles, the nuances, how he runs behind his pads, happens here in live action. So 2 nice runs so far for David Cobb.
And the Titans coaching staff had him at the Senior Bowl, so they got to know him pretty well. Mettenberger to throw on first down. Over the middle to Chase Kaufman. That's a nice gain, setting up the Titans for a 2nd and 3. It's a 7-yard gain for Kaufman. The other thing about Cobb is military grit kid, so he kind of grew up all over the world. But when he was in high school in Texas, he went to Sylvester Croom's camps at Mississippi State, and now Sylvester Croom is his running backs coach. So he's got a relationship there.
A little history, so he knows about him a little bit. So you don't have to spend a lot of time understanding the person that you have and the player you have in someone, because you already have a backstory.
2nd and 3, Cobb's got a first down and more. He runs really low.
Runs low, but also patience. You see him pick and choose like the hole. You can see him running with like he sees with his feet. And very nice job of being patient in the hole and letting it develop and running behind his pads. And when he gets hit, he's still moving forward. I like what I see out of the 3 runs so far from David Cobb.
7 yards that time, and you also like what you've seen from the offensive line to start the second half. He's had some holes. He takes a pitch this time across the 40 to the 45. Takes on a tackler and driven out of bounds. It's a nice tackle by the Falcons defense. Alan Bradford taking David Cobb back, but another gain of 6 yards on first down.
But you mentioned the offensive line for the Titans. In the last 3-4 runs, they've opened up really nice holes. You saw them open up the hole in the middle. You see him taking to the outside now. The offensive line, in order to be a good running football team, you've got to run the football. And they're doing it here, so it's really nice to see that. They're making a commitment to run at this point in time.
Former Titans starter Fernando Velasco is back. He's at center right now. Jamon Meredith's at guard, and Byron Stingley's at tackle. Flag on that play. David Cobb spinning and driving forward for a first down.
He got hit at the 50. He ends up at the 45. That's what you want to see out of a young running back right there. Legs moving, spinning, doing whatever it takes to get the hard, tough yards.
Gain of 5.
Downhill.
Nice
him in the hole.
move.
Yep. Feet keep moving. Still picking up the yards. I'll tell you what, that wears on the defense. That's a body blow to the defense.
Your national champion Ohio State Buckeyes had their hands full with his Gopher team last season.
I mean, it went to the 4th quarter now. That game came down to the 4th quarter.
Jerry Kill at the helm. He's built a pretty good football team up there. Play action for Mettenberger. Throws And it's broken up, incomplete. Didn't look like he and Justin Hunter were on the same page.
Not even close.
He was throwing under, and Hunter was going over.
Yeah, Hunter was running a nine route, a go route, and I don't know what Zach was expecting. You could tell, you could see there that he thought he might have been doing a comeback or an out route, but certainly not on the same page there. That's one of the few mistakes that we've seen Zach make tonight.
You see Charles Godfrey with a little blood running under the helmet. 2nd and 10 for the Titans. They're at the Falcons 46. Mettenberger to throw. Lofting the left sideline, looking for Green Beckham, and nice job by the defensive back there. Cut him off, and he just had no path to the football. Kevin White was the defender for the Falcons.
One thing for sure, Zach likes the target in Green Beckham. I mean, he sees him out there lined up one-on-one. A mismatch, he's going to throw it up to him and let him be an athlete. I like the aggression, the decision-making by Zach Mettenberger. I really like how aggressive he is.
Well, Kevin White's 5'10", and Green Beckham's 6'5". Yep. He's got 7 inches and probably about 30 or 40 pounds. So 3rd and 10 for Mettenberger. Blitz coming, unloads to his tight end, Chase Kaufman, for a Titans first down. He saw the blitz coming and got rid of it quickly.
Nice job, sees it, throws it in the tight window, and that's what you got to love about Zach's arm. He has a nice, strong arm, and he can get in those small, tight windows within the defense.
15 yards for the first down. Kaufman was with the Titans last year, and after Taylor Thompson left the team this summer, they brought him back. I think he's a former 2nd-round pick of the Bengals. He's got real pass-catching ability. You've seen that. He scored a touchdown for the Titans last season, I believe, against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We've got a timeout on the field for the Titans as Zach Mettenberger will go to the sideline. 10:13 to play in the 3rd quarter. Titans trail 24-13, but they are on the move. You're watching the Titans Television Network, presented by Nissan. Welcome back to Atlanta, Georgia, and the Georgia Dome. 10:13 to play in the 3rd quarter. Titans trailing 24-13, but with Zach Mettenberger at the helm, they are moving. He's top 100 yards for the ball game, and it's 1st and 10. They'll hand, and it's a short game for David Cobb. They'll give him 2. Justin Fowler leading the way, a rookie from Alabama. He played 5 different positions in Alabama. Fullback, running back, tight end, H-back. Yeah. 53 career games for Nick Saban. 5'11", 254 pounds. And you're going to see him all over the place. He's just, his position is football player.
Utility guy. Love him. Love it.
2 backs for Mettenberger. On the right side, he's got his tight end Kaufman. Inside the 10, down to the 5, and down to the 3. Ball's fumbled into the end zone, and who's got it? We've got an official marking it down at the 3, and we'll see who's got it in the end zone. 27 yards on the completion. Justin Hunter came up with it in the end zone.
I really like this Chase Kaufman. Looks very athletic. Does a nice job getting the ball. Oh, that is a fumble.
It's definitely a fumble, but Justin Hunter scoops it up in the end zone. The Titans are in the Pinnacle scoring zone. Sign up for Titans Banking to get exclusive access to Titans perks only at titansbanking.com. And you can't fumble forward. That's the old holy roller rule. Yeah. I didn't watch it when it happened, but I saw the replay. It's 7? 7? Is it 7? Was it more?
I thought it seemed like it was 30. That's crazy.
As time goes on, it gets longer. Pitch play to Cobb. He turns it up inside the 5. Puts the pads down. He's to the goal line just short. He could have stretched that out a little bit further, but he decided to go north and south.
He did the right thing. He knows his strength is getting north and south. He went as far as he could, and at that point in time, you got to take on defenders and take you half the body. So pitch to the outside. He takes away the outside. The defender forced him back inside, and he turns it upfield, puts his pads down, and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to get this the hard way. And I'm not mad at that decision at all.
They're giving him a hard time right now because he's gone to the sideline with the ball at the 1-yard line. And the Titans, I think that's Antonio Andrews in the backfield with Fowler in front of him. Now handle him, and he'll walk it in easily. Antonio Andrews punches it in from 1 yard out for a Titans touchdown, and they're back on the board.
He's a sound football player. An outstanding job by the offensive lineman. The left side did a nice job of getting him to the edge.
Take a look at the replay.
Blocking down.
You see Fowler with a nice block
yes.
at the point of attack. Just the guy we were talking about.
And Andrews takes care of the rest.
And the Titans are going to go for 2. Now we've seen the new PAT move back to the 15. You can still go for 2 from the 2. If the defense creates a turnover and takes it back the other way, just like in college, it's 2 points.
I kind of like that rule because it makes every play competitive.
I know some people don't like to change the PAT.
Yeah.
I think it's much more interesting, and I think there's more strategy behind it as well. So Mettenberger hands to Andrews, a little slip inside, and he fights forward, and Antonio Andrews, give him 2, and the Titans have made it a 3-point game.
I like that play there. Comes in motion from the flanker position, and you almost kind of expect a play action with that formation and dump over the middle, but he hands it off. Touchdown Andrews.
8 points for the Titans. They're within 3 at 24-21. You're watching the Titans Network presented by Nissan.
Welcome back to the Georgia Dome. The Tennessee Titans trail the Falcons 24-21 here in the third quarter. Now, for a lot of these guys tonight, playing in this game is a dream come true. Rookie running back David Cobb is one of them. But a few weeks ago, another childhood dream came true for David Cobb. As a young kid, he absolutely idolized former Titan Eddie George, as we all know very well, even wearing his number while playing in Germany, where his father was based. Well, of course, we couldn't let this opportunity pass us by, so Corey and I set up a surprise introduction. David was understandably caught off guard at first, then a bit speechless, and then just plain giddy. And Eddie, I have to tell you, I saw David after practice just a few days ago, and he told me he has watched that video 100 times since he met you, and says he still gets goosebumps every time he watches it. So I'm sure he's out there playing, knowing that you're calling this game right now. Hopefully not too nervous, but hopefully making you very proud.
We'll talk with Eddie about that when we come back. David Cobb, you see his numbers on that drive. Titans trail 24-21. You're watching the Titans Network presented by Nissan. From the camera up top, hello everybody from Atlanta, Georgia. Corey Curtis with Eddie George. And Eddie, you know, you don't win Heisman trophies and you don't rush for 10,000 yards without having some adulation along the way.
Yeah.
What was that David Cobb experience like for you?
It was cool. I mean, to see him in his Little League uniform with 27
Yeah.
Titans in down in Texas, that was pretty impressive.
That team was
to me.
in Germany.
Yep, in Germany.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
How ironic is that? You see how the universe works, man?
Yeah.
I mean, and he's in a Titans uniform. We're in 23. But, you know, it's a good thing. He runs really strong. I'm really impressed by what I've seen from him tonight.
Yates still in at quarterback for the Falcons. And he pitches, and the Falcons will run the football. Once again, that's Jerome Smith getting the carry. Finishing up that Titans drive, it was a good one. 13 plays, 88 yards,
Yes,
7 minutes and 19 seconds. They really pounded the football well between Antonio Andrews and David Cobb. And I think the offensive line, that second unit, is to be commended. And Jalston Fowler, who we saw throw a wonderful block at the point of attack on the touchdown. So second down, and we'll call it 7 to go. Broken up on the play by Cody Riggs. The rookie from Notre Dame playing a lot tonight with some of the injuries in the secondary. And he's not the biggest guy at 5'9", 187 pounds. But he is a competitor, and he just doesn't back down.
And sometimes that's all you need. You know, Cortland Finnegan fit the same mode, played with the chip on his shoulder, and Cody Riggs, you know, he's a playmaker. His father played in the league, so he has a great pedigree from that perspective. Played at Notre Dame last year, and he's a guy that's going to be around the football and make plays.
Third and long now. Another bad snap for Yates. He doesn't have it. Now he's got it. He's at the 1 and dives to the 3-yard line. And the Falcons will be punting from their own end zone. They have had a couple of issues on snaps. That's a loss of 20 yards. And just like that, the Titans are going to be in position to get the lead. Good pressure in the backfield.
Well, it's the preseason for sure. It's totally different when you're at the comfortable confines of your facility where you're playing football every day in the sun and everything's cool. But when you get in this environment, the nerves start coming and you've got real live defense, the jerseys, everything is all out. And that's what happens. You got to settle down and make that transaction there.
Matt Bosher on to punt. Jacoby Ford is in to return. He's standing just outside the 50-yard line, so the Titans should have really good field position. Bosher with a high spiral to the 40. Ford to the 45. And down at the 46. A punt of 56 yards. And the Titans will take over at midfield. They trail by only 3, 24-21. You're watching the Titans Network presented by Nissan. They trail the Atlanta Falcons 24-21, 6:20 play in the third quarter. It's time for the quarterback comparison brought to you by Ford, Lincoln of Franklin, and Ford of Murfreesboro. You see the numbers tonight. Marcus Mariota, 7 of 8, 94 yards and a pick. Zach Mettenberger, he is done for the evening. 8 for 11, 129 yards, a pick and a touchdown. And now it's time for the Titans' third quarterback of the evening, and that's the veteran from Clemson, Charlie Whitehurst, a Georgia native. They'll go play action on first down. Charlie steps up and uncorks one. Going deep on the play, and it's caught! Terzilli with the touchdown.
Why waste any time? Charlie Whitehurst.
Andrew Terzilli, a rookie from Rutgers, 54 yards for the touchdown. Flag at the 8. And it's going against the Titans.
Play action fake. Beautiful throw. Nice catch, but doesn't count.
6'4", 195 pounds. It was wonderful while it lasted. But it's coming back. Offensive pass interference. He not real happy on the sideline, talking things over with Delaney Walker, who, of course, is not in uniform tonight. Delaney got 12 stitches into his thumb about a week ago in practice. He's got a left hand in the shoulder pad.
Yeah.
You got to disguise it a little better than that.
You do. I mean, but it's a good point. Great.
Trying to make a play. So it's 1st and 20, and Charlie Whitehurst is back in. And hands to David Cobb with the cutback. Cobb falls forward and drops the football, but they'll rule him down after a 10-yard gain.
Rookie legs. You got to get used to it, young man. I know. I felt him. He wanted to cut right back underneath and take it to the house. I know he wanted. It happens all the time. He fell in the open field, but nice job of pressing the hole into the feet of the lineman. Comes back and he wanted to come right there. He wanted to make a move, but you know what? He's a rookie. He's a little excited. You got to get your legs up underneath you to make that cut.
He's had a good night so far. 2nd down and 10 now. And they'll go play action. Whitehurst unloads. Caught. Looks like Jacoby Ford going to be close to a first down. You know, back to David and your meeting. One of the things I was most impressed by is you spent about a half an hour just talking to him. Talking to him about being a pro and talking to him about how to attack the beginning of his career and set him up for later in his career and what it takes to get on the field. I mean, you ran the gamut. He soaked it in like a sponge. I mean, he just sat and listened.
You know, I enjoyed it. I mean, for the little time I had with him, I wanted to cover, what was on my heart, what was in my spirit to speak to him. And anytime I can give him words of wisdom based off of my experience and hopefully it can help him along his path, I'm going to do that.
All right, 3rd and 1. Whitehurst throws, and it's caught. First down. Big hit on the play, but the tight end, Tevin Westbrook from Florida, is going to move the chains, 7 yards. When you're a tight end, those are the hits you got to take, and those are the plays you got to make.
I'll tell you what, I mean, the Titans have some really big targets within their receiving corps, whether it's the tight ends, receivers, Justin Hunter,
Dorial Green
Beckham. There are some really big receivers, some nice targets for the quarterbacks to throw to.
He's 6'5", about 257. SEC guy, so people around here know him pretty well. 2 receivers to each side. Little flanker screen to Jacoby Ford. He's across the 35 and inside the 30.
Like the screen.
Chase Kaufman, the tight end, was set out there with him. threw him a nice block.
Little smoke screen action on the outside. The cornerback is playing, defensive backs are playing off to give him that space. You see him take this stop right there and let him do his thing in space. He gets to the edge of the perimeter and picks up the first down. Very nice play, well executed.
A gain of 11 yards. Jacoby Ford is a guy who's been around this league for a while. So it's 1st and 10, another handoff, and it's David Cobb, and that's 2 or 3 yards after contact.
It's nothing pretty, but you take it. He takes it as far as he can to the outside, decides to get his shoulder square to the line of scrimmage, take on the defender and get 2 or 3 more yards. So instead of it being a game for no gain, gets a play for 2 or 3 yards, moving the ball forward. Very nice job of running the football.
And the defense knows he's out there because he's administering hits at the point. 2nd down, Whitehurst to throw over the middle. Another tight end. Kaufman again. It looks like he fell forward for a 1st down. Gain of 9 yards. And the Tennessee Titans have entered the Pinnacle Red Zone. Sign up at Titans Banking and get your exclusive access to Titans Perk only at titansbanking.com. Titans Pinnacle Scoring Zone. There was one point in this game where the Titans trailed 17-0. They are on the verge of tying it up, taking the lead. 2:30 to play in the 3rd quarter. Cobb's in the backfield with Fowler in front of him. 1st and 10. No hand to Cobb. Over the right side, turns it up, and dropped. After a short 2-yard gain, it's tackled by Alan Bradford.
Cobb getting a lot of action. Got a ton of carries tonight. Trying to really assess where he is. And I have to imagine that Kent Wisenhunt is really pleased.
Well, he was the guy he wanted to see tonight.
Wanted to see. I think we all wanted to see him. And now, with it being live, and he's being very aggressive. The one thing we haven't seen him do is pick up the blitz, the pass protection. That's the next phase of it. But right now, in terms of running with the football, he's doing a very nice job.
10 carries for 52 yards. Now make it 11 carries for 53.
You just look at how the defenders are getting up after hitting this guy. They don't want to hit him as much. Nice cut to get upfield. And, you know, that's a blow to the defense. You know, it'll wear you out. He's going to keep coming. I mean, this is his type of football. He played in the Big Ten, in the rugged Big Ten. Minnesota, played in the cold.
I'm not going to lie. You were excited when they added this guy. And Justin Fowler. You like that thump that they give the offense. So it's 3rd down for Whitehurst, who so far is 4 for 4 for 35 yards. Plenty of time. Charlie over the middle. It's deflected and caught by Jacoby Ford. He can't break the tackle, though. A gain of 4 is going to leave him 2 yards short. So it's going to be 4th and 2 or 3. And the Titans have a decision to make. And it looks like they're going to elect to tie it up. Nice protection.
Kind of a dangerous throw. That could have gone back the other way for a pick, but he snuck it in there. Great job by Ford of maintaining concentration on the football. Made it happen, and now they can probably kick a field goal to tie the game up.
It's going to be from 28 yards, which will make it shorter than an extra point. Succop's kick is up, and the kick is good. And the Tennessee Titans have rallied from 17-0 down to tie it up at 24 in the 3rd. You're watching the Titans Television Network, presented by Nissan. They are getting after it in the Georgia Dome. Titans and Falcons tied at 24. A new era of Titans football begins in only days. You can be at Nissan Stadium for every snap of Marcus Mariota's rookie season. Buy your season tickets today. Call 615-565-4200 or visit TitansOnline.com. Everybody, tighten up. So the Titans set to kick off one more time. Doing the kicking this time for Tennessee is Mike Meyer. From the 35, and he gives it a boot. Falcons will return it from about 5 yards deep. Nice hit at the 12. And the Tennessee Titans And the Falcons will set up at the 13-yard line. And Eddie George, David Cobb has made his presence known in his rookie debut.
Yes, he has, going north and south, challenging defenders to tackle him. Like I said, he was drafted because he can do that. Make hard, tough yards in between the tackles. Makes additional yards after yards of contact. Doing an exceptional job of reading his block, setting it up, being patient. And this young man has tremendous upside in this offense.
1st and 10 for the Falcons from the 15-yard line, and a new quarterback is in, Sean Renfree. He'll hand off on 1st down, and the Falcons will take it up to about the 20-yard line. And that's Jerome Smith, the big 6', 226-pounder. We are through 3 quarters of football, and we are all tied, 24-24. You're watching the Titans Television Network, presented by Nissan. 24-24, Titans and Falcons all tied up as we head to the 4th quarter here at the Georgia Dome. Corey Curtis with Eddie George, and after trailing by 17 points, Tennessee has tied it up. And if you break it down statistically, Eddie, you really like the way things are headed for this Titan group.
Absolutely, and it all starts in the trenches on both sides of the football. The Tennessee Titans have given up only 26 yards rushing on defense, and they've gained 80 yards rushing. So they're dominating the line of scrimmage, and that's something you want to see if you're the Tennessee Titans. You have all the passing elements, the receivers, the quarterbacks, but if you can dominate the line of scrimmage, that's what you want to see, and that's encouraging what I see right now.
And that's another nice job against the run right there, holding them to about 1 yard, setting up a 2nd and long. Now, you can say what you want about when the starters are in or when they're not in.
No, this is philosophy.
Neither team's necessarily game plan for each other, but this is when guy lines up on guy, and you learn who wants it more.
You learn who wants it more, but more importantly, you're setting a standard, a culture. You know, who are you going to be in identity? And I like the fact that they're saying, you know what, we're not going to let anyone run on us, and we're going to establish the run. And they showed that early on, but even in the 1st quarter, when they had their mishaps, they did not abandon the run.
3rd down and 2 for the Falcons, so the Titans defense with another opportunity. Renfree fires, and it looks like it's going to be ruled a catch and a 1st down for the Atlanta Falcons, and they will move the chains. 24-24. It's going to be Charlie Whitehurst the rest of the way for the Titans unless Alex Tanney gets in, and it looks like it's going to be Sean Renfree the rest of the way. So we'll see who can get it done.
You know, you talk about the Titans quarterback situation, and it looks pretty good. I mean, Mettenberger looks really strong tonight.
He did look. He looked comfortable. He looked confident. Another handoff to Smith. He bangs forward for a gain of 3, setting up 2nd down and 7 yards to go.
And the reason I mention that, Corey, is I would not be surprised at some point
if somebody comes after him.
The Jets, Bills, because he looks strong. I mean, he has a year of experience under his belt. If he has a good showing here, it could be interesting to see if the Titans are willing to do something in exchange for something down the line.
I mean, depth at that position is seemingly rare.
Yeah,
and they got premium. Another nice pass by Renfree, completed to Bernard Reedy. Jamea Thomas is there for the tackle, but it's an 8-yard gain, and that's another 1st down. And the Titans would have to be willing to deal, and I think they would have to get a really good offer to do it.
But do you risk that? I mean, very rarely do you find a backup quarterback in a guard that can do it for you. But we have to wait and see. I mean,
it never hurts you to have too many good players on your team.
You're right.
A little bootleg by Renfree, and he unloads a strike. That's Justin Hardy, your guy from East Carolina, for a long gain and another Falcons 1st down. That one goes for 23 yards. And the other thing, you know, we're putting the cart before the horse here a little bit. The Bills have got about 17 quarterbacks in camp, and they've got some with some potential. I mean, E.J. Manuel is a former 1st rounder. Tyrod Taylor is a guy who's come along. And I don't even think either of those guys are starting. I think Matt Castle started their preseason opener. And Matt Castle has been a starter in this league before.
The Jets?
Well, the Jets are the Jets. Another carry for the Falcons. That was Michael Ford, and he was dragged out of bounds after a gain of about 1 yard.
I tell you, the Falcons are putting together a nice little drive here, doing it on the ground and through the air, methodically marching down the field against this Titan defense. And they're going to have to do something here to change the momentum. You know, making a big stopping these runs, making the right run fits,
against the run game and try to break up some of these passes in the passing game. So we'll see. Renfree hands again. Ford dropped. This time looks like for a loss.
Consistency. I mean, this defense is taking great pride in not allowing this team to run on any unit, whether it's the first unit, second, third, doesn't matter. That's a mindset. That's a philosophy. That's an identity that needs to be established. And Dick LeBeau preaches that. Take away the run. That against a 3-4 defense, you must be stout up the middle. Period.
Toby Johnson, a rookie from Georgia, with the stop there. Saw him run off the field. Falcons 3 for 7 on third down tonight. They've got a 3rd and long here, 10 yards to go. Titans bring a blitz. Renfree unloads, and it's complete for a first down. Renfree found number 87. That's Marquez Clark for 13 yards and a first down.
Boy, was he coming down the pipe right down there. He really had his eyes set on the sack, but nice job by the quarterback of just staying in there in the pocket, not panicking, trusting his blocking, trusting his reads. Got the ball out to Clark and picks up the first down.
So the Falcons down to the 25-yard line. Renfree so far 4 for 4 for 50 yards. He's in his 3rd year from Duke. He's got pressure coming. Mount blasts him, but he gets it away. Complete, and that's going to be another Falcons first down. That pass complete. Again, Carlton Mitchell.
Again, Titans applying pressure. Comes up, but does a nice job of getting his hips around, getting square, and delivering a nice strike down the field. So Renfree doing a nice job under pressure, delivering 2 strikes for first down.
9 yards, just a yard short of a first down on that line, setting up a 2nd and 1. Mount is a guy they want to take a good look at. He's a draft pick out of Louisville. And handoff for Ford. Toby Johnson with another tackle, but this one's going to be good enough to move the chains. Gain of 2 yards. Mount they took in the 6th round. He's really long at that outside linebacker position. 6'5", 250 pounds. Last year at Louisville, he had 5 sacks, 10.5 tackles for a loss. And he's really a guy who's kind of growing into his body and growing into the type of player he can be. He's one of those high-ceiling guys. And the Titans are really looking to grow depth behind Derek Morgan and Brian Arakpo. Another handoff. That's Ford again. He falls forward for a gain of 3 yards.
And you know what's interesting about Dick LeBeau is that
everything.
You know what? They don't. When he was at Pittsburgh, they didn't draft high draft choices for the outside linebackers. I mean, they developed a lot of those
James
guys.
Harrison was a practice squad guy.
Chad Brown. You go down the list. They develop guys at that position, so they'll find guys for those positions and develop them. So the Titans now constantly have to be looking at how they're going to fill up that roster at the defensive line position.
Down inside the 3 to the 2-yard line. It's Clark again, a gain of 9 yards. Renfree, the quarterback, started 36 games in his career at Duke, threw for 9,400 yards and 51 touchdowns. And he's another big guy, 6'5", 225 pounds. So it's 1st and goal from the 2. The Falcons threatening to take the lead back just as quickly as the Titans tied it up. 8:38 and ticking. Renfree from the gun. Running out of time, throws from the corner of the end zone, and it's incomplete. Looking for Clark one more time. Titans did a nice job of flowing with the play.
Yes, they did.
And then putting some pressure on late.
One thing that Coach Wisdom emphasized at halftime was discipline in terms of your position defensively. And that's something that he's preaching. The halftime adjustments, it seems like these guys have really paid attention in terms of where they need to be and not over-pursuing or being overzealous in certain plays. So great job by the Titans of being disciplined, by the young players being disciplined in that situation.
Renfree hands, it's Ford is dropped shy of the goal line. It's going to set up 3rd and goal. Mike Martin, Mount in there.
You know, and I love when a defense can do a goal line stand like this, when the offense lines up in the eye and runs the teeth of your defense, the heart of your defense, and they answer the bell. Now this right here really develops the character of who you want to become, of who you are right here. Man-on-man football, trying to get the hardest yard in football, stop it. Outstanding job. We'll see.
3rd and goal. They hand to Ford. He's hit at the 1 and pulls his way forward. And he is... Wait for it. They're going to call him down.
There you go.
No, that's a touchdown. Michael Ford, it took a while to figure it all out, but he's in for a Falcons touchdown, and they've regained the lead. Imagine that, Eddie, another LSU running back in the NFL.
Oh, really? The million backs they have in the league right now. Incredible job. But nice job of putting his head in there. Keeps his legs moving. Crosses the plane. Touchdown, Falcons.
Michael Ford has made it a 30-24 game. A chance to extend it back to 7 with 7:35 to play. Matt Bryant on for another PAT. You know, if the Titans were to jump off sides here, the Falcons would have the option of moving it to the 2 and then up to the 1 with the penalty. You can change the strategy up. The PAT is up and good. When we come back, we've got Twitter answers with Audra Martin. The Titans trail 31-24. You're watching the Titans Television Network, presented by Nissan.
Welcome back to the Titans Preseason Network. It's the 4th quarter here in Atlanta. The Titans trail the Falcons 31-24. Time now to bring you guys all back into the broadcast with the responses from our Twitter question from earlier this evening, and that was, which free agency signing do you expect to have the biggest impact? And this first one is an answer I was hoping to get. Does Dick LeBeau count? He absolutely does count. I agree. It's a great signing, if you will. If not, my vote is for Denoris Searcy. How about Shaney McFizzle saying Anthony Pisano will be the biggest asset, bringing veteran leadership? Absolutely. We kept hearing that about him all offseason. Brian Arakpo, because we really need that pass rush improvement. That's another great answer, a popular answer. But the most popular answer I noticed was this one. Harry Douglas, a rookie quarterback, needs a proven vet as a safety net. And I totally agree with that. And obviously tonight he had a great start to the game. So all great answers. And as always, thanks for participating in our Twitter question of the night.
Trey McBride with the return for the Titans. Lost his headgear, but he's got the Titans across the 25-yard line. They trail 31-24. You're watching the Titans Television Network, presented by Nissan. Welcome back at the Titans Network. Falcons leading the Titans 31-24. Gear up this season and get the official sideline Titans hats, tees, or your favorite jersey like Marcus Mariota. Go by and shop at the Titans locker room team store by Gate 1 at Nissan Stadium, or simply order online at TitansLockerRoom.com. Alex Tanney has entered the game at quarterback, and there you see the Mariota jerseys. They are ready to rock and roll. Had to get that from Ryan Suckup. There was rumor of an arm wrestling battle that never materialized. Titans with the football, and they're handing to a new back. That's David Llewellyn. The pride of Toledo goes for 4 yards. A former Rocket.
And you know, the good thing here, Corey, is these guys are playing not just for the Tennessee Titans, but for everybody else around the league, because, you know, these coaches, scouts are always out there looking for talent. And if it's not going to be here, it's going to be somewhere else. So you're going to see some quality football here in the last quarter.
Second down, 6 to go, less than 7 minutes to play. We've got movement at the line. I don't think that's what you were talking about.
Nope.
Tanney played at Monmouth in college. Well, you see the call by Jerome Boger. But he's best known for a video he posted on YouTube of himself making all these trick throws.
Oh, wow, really?
I mean,
did he actually make them? Or
yeah,
were they...
no, yeah, it's a real thing.
Really?
It's a real thing. And, like, I mean, he just got like thousands and thousands of hits on it. And he joined the team last year. And he's back. He's back and competing. Second down, 11. And he'll get the throw. And he steps up, goes for his tight end, Philip Supernaw. And I finally get a chance to correct myself, because I just took an absolute bludgeoning on Twitter.
Oh, really?
For his college, which I refer to as Wichita State. And forgive me, everyone, I think it's called Washita State. In Arkansas. 32 yards to to Supernaw. I am now educated on Washita Baptist,
Washita Baptist. Okay.
And so there we go. And a nice pitch and catch from Tanny to Supernaw. 32 yards. Llewellyn. He's tripped up at the line. Llewellyn, a late addition to the Titans roster, is a gain of 1 yard on the play. Mickey Ryan, a proud Arkansas native, just gave me a big thumbs up.
Oh, good. Got it right.
Well, he was my go-to guy.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
For all things Arkansas, I go Mickey Ryan.
Arkansas. You know what? Speaking of Arkansas, they're going to be pretty good this year in the SEC.
Oh, my. Oh, they're going to run the football.
Their offensive line?
Yeah. The Hogs are back.
Hogs, I like it.
You will know when you play Arkansas this year. Absolutely. 2nd and 9. Brett Bielema got it together last year. Tanny to throw. Goes for his tight end again. Supernaw. That's going to set up the Titans for a 3rd and short.
Super.
Well, whenever you get super in your name, it's a good thing.
I like that. That's a nice. That's a tight end.
And he's got Frank's number on.
Tough guy. Supernaw.
And he's another big target. 6'5", 250 pounds.
Some big targets on his team, man. I like it. I really like it.
Talking with Antonio Andrews over there. You could call this 4-down territory for the Titans as well. It's 3rd and 4 from the Falcons' 38. Jacoby Ford's in the game. Alex Tanny steps up, hit in the head, and dropped. Thought we might see a flag for a blow to the head, but it's a sack.
I tell you what, if
that's Tom Brady, 5 yards.
If that's Tom Brady, he's kicked out of the game.
I don't think he's kicked out of the game.
If that was Tom
it's 15
Brady,
yards.
He would be out of the game for 8 games.
Stanley Maponga gets the sack. And we see that replay again. I don't think he intentionally hit him in the head, but it looked like when he reached the arm in there, he got him.
Exactly.
Losses 3 yards.
If that was Tom Brady, he would be suspended for 8 games and kicked out of this one.
Overstating.
No, I'm not.
4th and 7. Brady's suspended anyway. Punt by Kern. We got a flag on the play. To the goal line. McBride can't get it out. He tried to bat it, couldn't quite do it, but we got flags on the play. We're going to see what happens here. It's a punt to 41 yards. And with 3:45 to play, the Titans defense is going to have to get the ball back. A little surprised they didn't go for it.
Doing the kick, holding, receiving team, number 43. 10-yard penalty. Atlanta keeps 1st down. Timeout.
Penalties on Michael Lee. That will take the football back to the 10-yard line from the 20. And we will head to another break with the Titans trailing by 7, 31-24. You're watching the Titans Television Network, presented by Nissan.
Welcome back to the Titans Preseason Network. The Titans trail the Falcons 24-31 here in the 4th quarter in Atlanta. Now I'm joined by wide receiver Harry Douglas. Let's get this one out of the way. You're in two-tone blue, but you're in the only other place you've ever known as an NFL player. What's it like to be back tonight?
It feels good to be able to come in front of fans who supported me all 7 years while I was in Atlanta, to be able to see my old teammates and guys who are like my brothers. It was good. I seen them earlier today in the hotel and been able to talk to people before the game, coming around the dome. I got a little lost at first though because I'm not used to going to the visitor side, so I was like, man, where do I even go? So I didn't even know where to go at. So, but it's good. It's a genuine homecoming.
I love that. I know you told me the other day that you're not one of those guys that feels like you have to come out and prove something when you come back to a place like this, but still you did put together a pretty nice performance in the first. What was it like to kind of get that first play with your new team out of the way?
No, it was good, and it's one of those things where our coach always harp and preaches that when you have a young QB, you want to give them confidence. You want to help them out as much as possible. So that's one thing I want to do is be able to help Marcus and help this team any way possible. And like you already know, I'm not a selfish person, so anything I have to do to help our team be better, I'm down to do it.
You touched on Marcus, which was going to be my next question. Obviously, there are a couple struggles, but that's going to happen with the rookie quarterback, of course. What have you seen in camp that impresses you the most about him as a quarterback?
I think the way he approaches the game, the way he approaches every day, every practice, every meeting. He's so cool, calm, and collected. And you see tonight, It may have started a little rocky, but how he came back and led us to a drive to go down for a touchdown. And that speaks volume about a guy like Marcus, man. So I think he can only rise from here. And I'm glad to be with him and glad he's going to be the guy taking snaps for us.
I know you thrive on being a leader. You come into an opportunity with a young guy like DGB, even Justin Hunter, who's still finding his way in the league. What excites you the most about what you can do to help develop those two guys' games?
I'll say, first of all, both of those guys, the potential on those two guys, man. And I can honestly say Justin has really stepped it up. He really stepped it up from in spring ball, but from spring ball to training camp, he's went to another level also. And DGB is coming along also, and I love the way those guys work and the way they approach the game every day also. But for me, man, just be there for them at any time. Help them in any aspect, whether it's on the field, off the field, any way possible, be able to help those guys. And like we're all close, so.
Well, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. We are going to go to commercial, but I know everyone's excited to have you on the team, so welcome officially to Nashville.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
All right, we'll be right back after this.
2:45 left in the ball game, the preseason opener for both teams. Falcons leading 31-24. They've got the football. 2nd and 10 from their own 31-yard line. Titans need to get it back. 4-man front for Tennessee. Hand off to Smith. Over the back cat man. And he's got a first down.
Yep. Can't do that in a 2-minute situation. You got to stop the run. You know a team in this situation is going to run the football. You've got to stop it at all costs. So first down plus 2 minutes. So we'll see what happens here, Corey.
12 yards on that carry for Jerome Smith. We talked about earlier, we've seen all Antone Smith and Jerome Smith mostly tonight. We also saw Michael Ford, but their top two backs, Tevin Coleman, a rookie from Indiana, and Devontae Freeman from Florida State, a second-year man. They're the guys who are going to battle it out to start. We didn't see them tonight.
I'll tell you what, Coleman, he led the Big Ten in the rushing. Talk about the Big Ten backs, outstanding.
2 minutes left in the football game. Time to head to a break. Titans trail by 7, 31-24. This is the Titans Network, presented by Nissan. Titans trailing 31-24, 2 minutes to play. It's time for the drive of the game, brought to you by your select Chevy dealer, and it's engineered by Marcus Mariota, and it starts with a toss to Harry Douglas.
Yes, once he settled down, he was magnificent. And again on the sideline, the wheel route to Antonio Andrews. And then to finish it off, to cap it off, the run by Dexter McCuster, led by Taylor Lewan for the touchdown. That's the drive of the game.
Really nice block there by Taylor Lewan. Lots to like. Mariota 7 for 8, 94 yards, a touchdown and interception. Titans quarterbacks tonight, 22 of 26 for 299. But they need the football back. Down 7, the Falcons have got it with 2 minutes to play. The Titans have 2 timeouts remaining. I believe 1 timeout remaining. Another run. Michael Ford across the 50.
That's something the Titans are going to have to address is the edge runs, the edge of their defense. They've been extremely soft all night. And they did a nice job up the middle.
Didn't Coach Wisenhunt at the half talk about the young outside linebackers keeping containment, staying disciplined, playing in your first games? I mean, that's stuff they're going to have to learn and overcome. That's what tonight's really all about.
It's learning. See where you are in assessment.
Just saw number 42, Desmond Johnson, 6'3", 245 pounds. Folks in Nashville remember him, Overton High School. Another run. Good hit on the play. Nicely done. Let's take a look at tonight's play of the game, brought to you by Nissan. Zach Mettenberger to Rico Richardson.
Beautiful job. Hey, man, this guy's playing well right now. Nice job finding him across the middle. Rico just a nice job of finishing the play. I mean, I really like what I've seen out of Zach Mettenberger in his development.
Yeah, he was good tonight.
Yes, he was.
Threw 1 interception on a deep ball to Justin Hunter, but he was aggressive and comfortable. Mettenberger 8 for 11 in this one for 129 yards. 3rd down and short. Titans need a stop, and they got it.
Yes.
Nice play in the backfield by Josh Aubrey, and they're going to force a punt with 26 seconds to go, and they're going to have to burn their final timeout. So Kind of need a miracle.
Yes. And that's how you take care of the run when you know a team is running the football. That's just attitude right there. And that's something that you build off of as a team in terms of the identity of who you're going to be moving forward.
Josh Aubrey, 5'10", 207 out of Stephen F. Austin. The Titans have big new names: Mariota, Arakpo, Luan, and familiar favorites Casey, Walker, Morgan. They're all back. Join the excitement at Nissan Stadium with season tickets. Call 615-565-4200 or visit TitansOnline.com. Got a late addition to the ball game for the Falcons, but still plenty of time left on the play clock as they'll line it up to punt. Nickel and punt coming on over, and the Titans will return it from the 10. That's Trey McBride. He's going to be dropped after a very short return, a 39-yard punt and a 3-yard return. And Alex Tanney, we talked about that trick shot video.
Yep.
He's got to come up with a trick here with 15 seconds to play.
What he does.
He's 2 for 2 tonight. And here he comes.
I want to see some of those trick shots. I'm going to have to look him up online.
YouTube is a wonderful thing, and just type in Alex Tanney, it'll show up. I think I just got him about 500,000 more hits.
You have that many followers?
No, I'm talking about our audience going on YouTube. I've got about 5 followers. Tanney to throw. Throws it out to the left side, and David Cobb, and he can't get out of bounds, and he can't get the corner. And that's probably going to be the last play of the football game. Gain of 2 yards for Cobb. And the Tennessee Titans will finish their first preseason game and their first game of the Marcus Mariota era with a 31-24 loss to the Atlanta Falcons. We're going to have more to wrap it up from Atlanta after this. You're watching the Titans Television Network, presented by Nissan.